myself.
I can hear I can hear myself as well.
Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome to it.
Yes.
Give me a kick on the backside.
A new week.
Get into the week.
Monday. I know you are a bit sad today. The family is leaving to England. I can feel it.
I'm
sensed
struggling. I'm
everything
sorry.
this
I'm going to
morning,
be a bit of a mess this morning, man. My beautiful family's leaving me for a couple of months. It's got to happen. I suppose it's a joyous thing because finally half of my beautiful fiance's family is going to meet our daughter. It's going to be magical and amazing, but I'm going to be an emotional wreck for the next 8 weeks, so bear with me. But luckily, I've got you guys. I've got this amazing family here. Every morning, we're going to be inspired and we're going to dive right in, as we do this morning, and we're going to continue in the spirit of love. I've been loving our love-inspired shows.
Yeah, we are meeting up with the Chief Operating Officer of Mrs. South Africa, Marlene Reddy Ribeiro, who is joining us in the studio this morning, alongside her newlywed husband, Operations Manager Hernani Ribeiro, to share more about their beautiful wedding recently. I mean, they were serving gold in Santon recently, but we are getting the lowdown on all of that.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that apparently they met on an online dating app, which is how everybody does it. Jamie, these
Why are
days,
you looking at me?
that's what we got to use, okay?
I actually just asked the social media team now why they used my face when we're speaking about online dating, guys. Come on, the shade so early in the morning.
You carry the hopes of all of us. You carry the hopes of all of us. Maybe you're looking for inspiration to go on a new romantic journey yourself. Well, hopefully we've got it. But luckily, my bae is here this morning.
I'd swipe right on this guy.
To comfort me. I did. I did. Good morning.
They used such a good picture of her. I'd proper online date. I'd say, hey, you look familiar. What you up to? Please send me your number. I mean, that's how it goes. You know, in fact, in the entire year last year, given the fact that we had such a different time, online dating skyrocketed. So that's the question over there. Have you tried online dating? Tell us the stories. What platforms have you used? What has the experience been like? We'd love to hear all about it because, you know, it's such a strange world to navigate as well. But I think what the beautiful thing is that you actually have to protect yourself, and you've got more of those types of things to ensure that you are protected. It's not like meeting somebody in person. Perhaps you get that preview before it actually happens. So share the stories. My name is Carl Wasty, by the way, in case you and I have never met, and I'm glad to actually TV date you all the way through on your Feel Good Breakfast show as we get into some news. Jamie Lee, somebody who I will definitely swipe for as well, is standing by. Hey.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wasty. And I'll start with those national news headlines. South Africa has reported 648 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, which represents a 2.9% positivity rate. A further 25 COVID-19 related deaths have also been reported. A senior researcher at the CSIR, Dr. Ridwan Suleiman, says the current low numbers of positive cases in South Africa are probably linked to some level of herd immunity that has developed after the devastating third wave. Around a quarter of adults have been fully vaccinated. Suleiman cautioned that a fourth wave is very likely towards the end of the year. And then stage 2 load shedding will continue throughout this week until 5 a.m. on Thursday as Eskom grapples with more breakdowns and depleted emergency power reserves. Eskom said the load shedding is necessary to address other additional risks in the generation fleet. It said while still recovering 4 units at Tutuka, which had experienced conveyor belt failures, the fleet suffered a cluster of boiler tube leaks within a short period of time. Then looking to news further abroad, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization have committed to a 10-year program to strengthen mental health and psychosocial support services for children, adolescents, and their caregivers in Africa. As the world marked World Mental Health Day yesterday, they said access to mental health and psychosocial support services remained unequal for children and adolescents in Africa. UNICEF added that at least 1 in 7 children in sub-Saharan Africa experience a significant psychological hardship. And then Taiwan will not bow to pressure from China and will defend its democratic way of life, President Tsai Ing-wen has said in a defiant speech amid heightened tensions over the island. Her speech on Taiwan's National Day came after China's President Xi Jinping vowed to, and I quote, fulfill reunification. Taiwan considers itself a sovereign state, but China views it as a breakaway province. Beijing has not ruled out the possible use of force to achieve unification. And then finally, news of a woman one can only admire. Just weeks after her 35th birthday, well-known South African ultra-marathon athlete Nontu Mkhabi continues with the biggest challenge of her life when she attempts to successfully complete one of the world's iconic ultra-distance foot races, the Marathon des Sables. Now, this largely unsupported journey of some 250 kilometers across the hot desert sands of southern Morocco started on the 1st of October and ends today. Her participation will undoubtedly change the lives of hundreds of school children of the Kiping Kunzi Primary School in Mtubatuba, KwaZulu-Natal, for the better. Now she's helping to raise funds to build new ablution facilities and an administration block for the school. And last year she ran 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days in the 2020 World Marathon Challenge and raised some 1.7 million rand for school uniforms and 5 fully furnished classrooms at the same school. Mkhabi is a registered psychologist with a master's degree in psychology and general manager of human resources at Richards Bay Coal Terminal in KZN. What an absolute athlete, what a legend. Let's all doll off our caps to Nontu Mkhabi. On that note, that is where I leave your 6 o'clock news headlines. Here's G standing by with a first look at the sports.
Well, we were given a mouth-watering prospect and delivered a feast of sport this weekend. Let's start with the boxing. Tyson Fury has done it. He's retained his WBC heavyweight title when he sent Deontay Wilder to the canvas for a 3rd time with a vicious right hand to the head in the 11th round in Las Vegas. So Fury weathered an early storm and knocked Wilder down in the 3rd round, but with a nice short inside uppercut. But the American responded in the 4th, knocking Fury down twice with shots to the head. Fury took control after that, knocking Wilder off his feet in the 10th, and then again ending the brutal affair with a clean right hand to the side of his head and ear that sent Wilder face first to the canvas. The win sees the Briton extend his record to 31 wins from 32 fights, still no losses. On to Formula One. Valtteri Bottas won the Turkish Grand Prix. A 2nd place for Max Verstappen returned the Red Bull driver to the championship lead. Sergio Perez finished in 3rd, while Charles Leclerc crossed the line in 4th. Lewis Hamilton was 5th, disagreeing with his team over the radio for their decision to make a late pit stop for tyres that dropped him down from 3rd. Verstappen leads Hamilton by 6 points, narrowest of leads with 6 races remaining this season. Then on to cricket. England were able to name their strongest available squad for their Ashes tour to Australia as their stars are committed to the trip after coronavirus quarantine fears. So Test captain Joe Root and vice captain Jos Buttler both hinted they might not travel if their fears were not eased, but both players were named in the squad. Then veterans James Anderson, Stuart Broad still at their best head up the seam bowling attack for what may be their Ashes swan songs, you'd have to think, with support from fellow pacemen Chris Wokes, Mark Wood, Ollie Robinson, Rory Burns, Johnny Bairstow and Zach Crawley, all leading the charge with the bat. Then England won the last series down under 4-0 in 2017 and 18, with this year's edition starting starting on the 8th of December and carrying, I think, a special relevance. Then on to football, of course, on an international break this weekend. England thumping Andorra 5-0 to maintain their unbeaten run in qualification for next year's World Cup in Qatar. Ben Chilwell, Bukayo Saka, Tammy Abrams, James Ward-Prowse and Jack Grealish all netting in a dominant display from the three lines. Poland currently third in Group 1 after putting 5 past San Marino. Then Denmark, like England, are unbeaten in their group after beating Moldova 4-0. Olsen, Kjær, Norgard and Mel all scoring for the Danes in that one. There were also wins for Scotland, Austria and Switzerland. But we're going to delve a little deeper into the weekend sporting highlights and that rugby championship, the United Rugby Championship turning around for South Africa this weekend. So stick around for that right now. Let's see what the weather has in store.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's take a look at the weather and starting you with some weather news. Red hot lava continues to engulf land and buildings on the Spanish island of La Palma since the Cumbre Vieja volcano started erupting 3 weeks ago. The magma streaming down the hillside destroyed buildings of 4 villages, some of them consisting of some 1,100 structures and 500 hectares of land. The director of the Canary Islands Volcanic Emergency Plan yesterday said the erupting volcano seems to have turned more aggressive. On Saturday, only there were 37 seismic episodes, with the largest measuring 4.1. Lightning flashes also visible near the eruption. This as the collision of ash particles creates an electrical charge. More than 6,000 people have been evacuated from their homes on La Palma, which has some 83,000 inhabitants. Thoughts and prayers are with everybody affected by that tragedy. Back on our own shores, we look to our own skies as we showcase the stunning sunrise photos that you share with us all the time, and please keep it coming. We love to see it. Nancy Govender coming through with the goods again from Pennington, kicking us off this morning with a stunning shot overlooking the ocean, showing off the beautiful rays of sun cast across the sky. Salo Stradom is actually busy with a fishing competition. He captured this fresh morning in the Western Cape while heading to their first spot of the day. Salo, all the best for that fishing competition. May the rods always be in your favor. Let's take a look at the temperatures as we go across South Africa to make sure how you start your day is well prepared with some good ideas as to what to wear. Now, starting in Polokwane, nice and warm, 22 is the maximum. That is from a low of 6 degrees Celsius. Bombela, you can look forward to 9 as your minimum, and you jump up to 21. Pretoria, 10, but you fly up to 24 degrees Celsius. Johannesburg, 23 is your high from a low of 10. Mahikeng, 27 the max from a low of 12. Klerksdorp, you start your day on 12, but you'll rise steadily to 29 degrees Celsius. And our Kimberley, 30 degrees Celsius for you, 15 is your minimum. Bloemfontein, 27 is the max from a low of 10. Richards Bay, 24, and you go down to, well, actually 15 is where you start your day. Pietermaritzburg, 13 to 27. It looks nice and clear on your side. Durban, 17 to 22 today. Mthatha, 15 up to 30. East London, 26 is where you max out. Minimum, 18 degrees Celsius. Kraddock, 13 to 33. Gqeberha, 15 to 27. George, 29 is the minimum too. And then, of course, say a low of 13. Cape Town, 14 to 28 today. Worcester, top of the temperatures, 35 degrees Celsius. Please stay hydrated. 12 is where you start your day. Sutherland also starts at 12 and you rise up to 29. And then Uppington wrapping with you as always, 34 is the max from a low of 19. That's a wrap of the temperatures and your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Stand by because we're going to start your day on a Kaboom.
Maynard, it's a juicy kaboom!
It's a kaboom right in your face, and it's juicy. I absolutely love it. You don't understand the power you feel when you say juicy kaboom, and then you hear juicy kaboom.
It's a juicy kaboom!
Like that, exactly
like that. Who does that?
Yeah,
What,
we
like
do,
a genie. We've got like a genie in studio. But we love the fact that this is your opportunity to win, and there is just 1 week left to enter the Juicy Kaboom game. And with 5 games under our belt, that means one last opportunity to stand the chance of winning some pretty awesome cash prizes. The stakes are high, so what are you waiting for?
To enter, all you have to do is visit the Expresso Facebook and Twitter page, comment on this week's competition post, and tell us why do you deserve to win a juicy Maynard's hamper. It is that simple.
Yeah, man. I think we all feel like we owed something by this time of the year, and yours could be a 3,000 Rand cash prize. So this is how the game works. A viewer will be live on air. We'll kind of connect via video call as we do. We'll ask you to select one of the presenters that are on air to play on your behalf in the Maynard's #Juicy Kaboom game.
Of course, the viewer will then select which bucket the presenter should aim for in order to win a big prize. So all these colourful buckets.
Try for the 3,000. I say just go for it. We then take turns at throwing the ball into the bucket, hopefully in order to secure that beautiful cash prize for you.
And once the ball lands in a bucket, the viewer then stands a chance to win one of the following cash prizes. Okay. Now, we have 500 Rand available, 1,500 Rand, 3,000 Rand, or a Maynard's hamper. So either or, you're going to be a winner.
There is a catch, though. If the ball does land in one of the booby chap prizes, or like this guy, there is no monetary value. You will still receive a Maynard's hamper, but of course, then the presenter who threw so terribly has to do a challenge. And we've seen some interesting ones. It could be push-ups, it could be planks, it could be singing a song like Zoe.
With water in the mouth, and you could be choking.
Exactly.
Oh, that was good.
We'll put our lives at risk for your entertainment.
So listen, all you have to do is go to the Expresso Facebook and Twitter page, comment on the Maynard's competition post of the week, and tell us again, why do you deserve to win a juicy Maynard's hamper? Don't forget to use the #Juicy Kaboom.
It's a juicy kaboom!
We love that. We could be calling you this Friday to play and win big cash prizes.
Yep, you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. This one is going to be closing on, or it's running up until the 15th of October, so you don't have a huge amount of time, but I suggest you get on that train and play the Juicy Kaboom!
It's a juicy kaboom! Maynard's, it's a juicy kaboom!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here at S3. And we are so proud to be part of the SABC family. They've got a wide range of programming that is selected to engage and entertain you and our loyal viewers. Now, of course, that's why on Expresso, we love to share the news of new shows that fall under that same umbrella.
Yes, one of them is Stand Up South Africa, a brand new family duo singing competition, giving families a platform to battle it out for a standing ovation from the judges and studio audiences as they stand a chance to win 100,000 Rand. Imagine what you do.
100,000 Rand, sure, that'd be amazing.
Change your life. Now, Stand Up South Africa is presented by media personality Daneo Langa, as well as joined by judges Kurt Darren, Losha Cooper Kumalo, and Kelly Kumalo every single week. Let's take a quick look at this.
Still somehow, still a friend of mine. Oh, he's still a friend of mine. Still a friend of mine. Oh, he's still a friend of mine.
Yes, man.
Friend of mine.
It takes me back to growing up and Sundays and oh my word, that's amazing. So after that, we had to just make sure we got the right people on the couch. So joining us this morning is one of the family duos in studio to tell us about their journey. It's Roderick and Georgia Salo. Yes. Sorry, I must stand up.
Stand Come on,
We have to.
everybody.
Sorry, we have to stand up because that's what you're after in stand-up essay. You know what I mean?
Yes, we are.
Welcome, guys, man.
Thank
nice
you.
to have you guys.
It's nice to be here.
Talent, that's all I have to say.
Yeah,
Talent.
lots of it.
Roderick, I mean, it must be such an amazing experience for you to be able to take the stage with your daughter, being able to do a duet with your daughter. What's that experience been like so far?
Oh, what an honor, really. I mean, she's my youngest daughter, and I started playing in bands from 12 to 13 years old. And since discovering that she is really into music and to jazz, which I love, and we're making music, so from there we took it. And I'm really so honored to be able to perform with my daughter, my own flesh and blood.
Oh, that's very sweet and very powerful as well to see that connection. Now, Georgia, I want you to be nice and honest with me now, okay? Okay. You're 10 years old, eh?
Yes, I'm 10 years old.
Okay, great stuff. Now, when my dad, right, he'd go to the bathroom and he'd start singing, the entire house would be echoing. And he sang Jose Feliciano songs all the time. Chico, don't be... And then it's like, your dad, why? Was it the same for you? I just wanted to find out, where this man sings all the time and like, you're my dad singing again.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it. Just I knew it. Is it like that? But then what made you say, okay, hold on, Dad. You know what? If you can't beat them, join them. And you started singing too.
Yes.
Is that how it went down?
That's how it went down, yes.
Aww.
It's cool.
And of course, Stand Up South Africa
Yeah.
is the first of its kind in South Africa, first duo competition. What's that been like? What makes this show different from the rest?
You know, in my opinion, we get families singing in the kitchen while they're making food, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now this show actually gives them like a platform to showcase their talent on a national level. That's what makes it actually different and standing out from the rest, which is actually a very good thing. And that's why we entered.
Oh, that's true. So, Georgia, okay, another moment of honesty. So, like, who picks the songs, you know? Who's the song? Is it both?
It's both, yes.
Look at that. Did you see that? I mean, are there any songs that you think that your dad should get into, maybe? That should start singing as opposed to, like, the jazzy stuff? You know?
Yes, my father should probably play the jazz
Yes.
with his band.
Oh, with his band?
Yes.
But with you,
And-
like, would he be singing Doja Cat or something like that?
No, not Georgia.
No, okay, I'm just asking for a friend. I thought it would be something a bit fresh and new, because you've got some judges to impress, don't you?
Yes.
And I mean, these are some of the heavyweights, you know, the Kamalos and... well, not like that heavyweight. Don't tell Kurt. Kurt's also been in the gym, man. But how is it with those judges to watch them, you know, respond to you guys singing? Has that been okay for you? I mean, you're 10 years old. It's going to be quite tough to get judgment like that, right?
Well, it's quite heartbreaking, but whatever lies forward,
Yeah.
to take it actually. To actually take it.
Awesome.
You guys have made it to the top 10 already. I don't know if it's a spoiler alert, but top 10 already.
Spoiler.
Competing with so many people out there. What is your method right now? Because obviously there is a method for you to be able to be there right now. It means that you guys are brilliant. You're on your way to taking away that 100,000 rand.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, hey?
No, I think from the beginning it was tough. But now as you read what the crowds are doing, what your stand-up audience is doing, you can probably, you can work on that, get the cues from them, and then step up your game as you go along. You see, to impress the crowd, or your audience, and the judges as well. So we're working on that now.
But a choreography will do that for you. Just letting you
Maybe
know.
Doja Cat as well.
Watch some more
Doja Cat.
TikTok videos, Dad. Just saying.
Oh yeah, TikTok, but
No, well done, guys. I think it's going to be great. And then I know Sunday, I don't want to do any spoilers on a Sunday, but I'm assuming that it's going to be an adventure not to be missed, right?
It will, yes.
You see that smile on your face now? I know it's going to be a good show. You know what I mean? It's going to be...
just stay glued. Stay glued to the TV, SABC 2, bro. Well, Stand Up South Africa, and you'll see. We got some we got something nice for you. I would only say that. I wouldn't go further
Okay,
than
something
that.
nice. Sunday, 6:30, that's where you're going to catch these two. They're going to be absolutely epic. Roderick and Georgia Salo are going to be performing a little bit later in something very special that'll make you give them a standing ovation. Stick around.
So as we gear up for the week ahead, why not make a meat that's not only fuss-free, but convenient too, and might not be a meat? Have I piqued your interest? We're going to start the week off right with your family favorites by making this flavored pasta with one simple swap. It is no meatballs. Meatballs.
Meatballs with no meat.
meatballs. I don't understand. It looks just like meatballs. It tastes just like meatballs, but there's no meat.
The texture is absolutely...
We had the opportunity of meeting the Fry family, and I understand how far and what a journey they've been on to get to this point. And it's not just about having a substitute,
no,
but it's about, yes, getting the nutrition and something that's delicious, but the whole point here is for you to be able to kind of really focus on meat-free in a way that is satisfying and enjoyable. It's not just about
throwing your meatballs
throw them
all
around.
over the pan.
They look like gorgeous little meatballs, and trust me, they taste beautiful.
The texture will fool any meat eater, I promise. And they're good. The flavour is divine, and I like the mouthfeel.
Yeah,
I
no,
really do.
texturally they just work. This is a beautiful pasta. This is a crowd pleaser. It's got volume. It's got flavour, and we really are creating a flavourful sauce here with a lot of my absolute favourites. So can I help, and how can I do
you
so?
think you were going to stay in my kitchen and not help?
I know, I'm seeing a lot of ingredients. So what do you need from me?
All
Are we
right,
making a pesto?
We're making a beautiful pesto, and I want some nice immune boosting
boosters.
garlic in there. So
Okay.
basically, not all the salt, obviously, all the pepper you can use.
Sure.
And this is nutritional yeast.
Yeast.
Or you could use a nice vegan cheese.
I've started using this. I like the umami flavour.
Gorgeous.
It's got a lovely
Absolutely.
richness, and it's
Yes.
obviously incredibly healthy.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
And so you're going to just whiz everything together. We'll use a little bit of water to thin it down.
Okay.
And while you are doing that, I'm going to just take my garlic. Once again, lots of immune boosting.
Yeah, no, you've got to do it, especially now, change of season.
Exactly.
Rocket, and all of the basil.
Everything. And
in
you're
there,
just
my
going to beat it up. You know, these meatballs don't want to stay in the pan. They want to be in my mouth.
Yeah, I know. It's a meatball party, and that's cool. Or, how much of the oil? All of the oil?
Just go with half first.
Glug.
And then let's whiz it. And if it's too thick, and a little
Then
bit
we
of
can
lemon
always
juice
add.
as well. Okay, put some juice and strain it through your hands, Graham, so we don't get seeds.
Any of those pips?
Because you know what happens with those pips, baby, it makes it very bitter. And then you've ruined your sauce.
Yeah, this is going to be beautiful. There's nothing quite like this basil pesto pasta
Gorgeous.
combo for me.
Oh, can you hear that sizzle?
All right.
This
So I've kept
is
a bit of
such
the water and a bit of the
yeah.
oil aside, so if we need to moisten our mixture, we can do that. I think we will.
Here we go. Let's do some more.
Coming along.
It's already looking all vibrant.
I know.
Beautiful. Look at
That's
that.
amazing. For me, it's all about that pop of the green.
Green.
The basils. Just
And talking about the pop of
makes it
colour, look what's happening in my pan, darling.
beautiful.
Yes?
There we go.
You know what? This is a beautiful red pepper paste, and it's gorgeous with the
We are
tomato.
not holding back this morning.
No, darling, it's all
There are
about
layers
everything.
of flavour going into this one.
Stunning.
And as we said, it's nutritional. So I think Monday, it's about setting the tone for the rest of the week. And you really want to just start on a Monday night to go meat-free just once and see if this kind of plants that seed, excuse the pun. Now, did you know that dietary fibre in plant-based meals make up 15% of our daily value, whereas beef has zero value in fiber. And we were talking about gut health a moment ago. You need it. Changing to more plant-based lifestyle, and that approach with fries is easy and it's flavorful, and your family will continue to enjoy the same family favorites with a simple swap. Look at what we've done with this. Fries offers you a simple, convenient, delicious plant-based alternative that will have your whole family enjoying a plant-based lifestyle without compromising on texture and flavor, which are vital. And this goes right across the board for their chicken burgers, their
their burry.
Their burry, their sausages.
Sausages. I love sausages.
You really can't go wrong, and I challenge you to see if you don't enjoy it as much as your old meat.
Now, this we're going to eat separately. I'm going to give you your spoon, darling. Can I give you? Can Mama dish?
Please,
a little
please
bit?
do.
Pass me
I'm
that.
dying to
tuck in.
To put it to that test. I feel like.
Look at this.
We've got to test this guy out, you know? Oh, that looks beautiful. Finished off with a little bit of fresh basil.
There we go. I'm going to give you
How long did that go into that? Because everything's cooked.
Everything's cooked. So literally melt your cheese and heat it through. And that's what's so easy, because these meatballs take minutes.
What Jen does me the most, you guys can go over to expressoshow.com, go and check out the recipe, and make sure that you finish it off with a dollop of your freshly made, absolutely gorgeous
basil
fresh
pesto.
Basil pesto. I'm going to get one of the... Oh, look at that. And it even looks identical.
Doesn't it look gorgeous?
I know.
Oh, you're happy chappy. I can see your mouth loves you. Your eyes are absolutely glinting.
It's amazing. It tastes delicious. Oh my goodness! But it's the texture. I mean, I know you don't want to say, oh, okay, I'm just doing a like swap for swap, but this really is a like swap for swap. Absolutely beautiful. If you want to go meat-free, this is a great way to test the waters, and your family will love you for it.
So will your mouth.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Let's inspire you right now to think about some of the basics differently. When you think of education and the obstacles that our youth face in that space, sanitation probably isn't a factor that you have considered. We in fact, I think, take it for granted. But sadly, unsafe sanitation and poor hygiene has become a paramount problem in our schools and is adversely affecting our learners during a critical phase of their development. But the incredible team at Domestos are fighting to protect the dignity of our future generations and calling on you and me to work towards building long-term sanitation solutions, not a quick fix. And here to share all about it is Nobuhle Ngubane, the Senior Brand Manager for Domestos South Africa, who was also bopping a shoulder at that sound check we were being treated to as well, which says to me that you are inspired to be here, because this is something that is inspiring, but it's also heartbreaking that so many learners have had to deal with the situation that they currently have to. And I'm so glad that you have turned your collective might, because you guys know this space better than anyone else. Maybe set the scene for us, because it feels like over the last 18 months, because of COVID, this additional spotlight has been cast over the situations that our learners find themselves in. And how can you expect a learner to go to school, develop, grow in that kind of reality? So how bad is it at the schools that you are wanting to change?
Thank you, Graham, and good morning to the viewers at home. You know, the World Bank reported last year that well-managed water, sanitation, and hygiene services are crucially important in protecting those who are, vulnerable to infectious diseases such as disease outbreaks such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet, unfortunately, over 2 billion people worldwide still do not have access to a decent, clean, and safe toilet. And in South Africa, over 3,800 schools still had pit latrines in 2018. Now, you talk about poor sanitation. I mean, the biggest impact of poor sanitation is usually, the transmission of diseases, but we also know that poor sanitation also infringes on the well-being of learners and denies them their right to dignity and privacy.
Say that.
Which also has an overall impact on their well-being.
Completely. And thankfully, mental health has been cast into that spotlight as well now. More than ever, we understand that we have to look after ourselves on every level. You obviously, I joke about Domestos knowing this space, the hygiene space, that's your playground. Excuse the pun again. But you obviously have an opportunity with this knowledge, the intellectual might that you have in that space to do something about it. What are you wanting to achieve?
Look, Domestos, and a lot of viewers may not know this, because a lot of viewers will know that Domestos is a brand that actually offers products that protect our homes from germs. But also, Domestos is a brand that is anchored and driven by its purpose to win the war against unsafe sanitation and poor hygiene in order to protect those who are vulnerable from illness-causing germs, for us in South Africa, especially on young learners in school.
For me, it's that early childhood development. I suppose having young kids, that's why it's such a trigger point for me. Not your first rodeo. You guys have been working in this space for a while now. Talk to me about your track record in this space and what's led you to this point.
Absolutely. I mean, Domestos has 3 pillars to our purpose, which spans over a decade, as you've mentioned, and has impacted over 5 million learners in South Africa and over 28 million people globally. So how we started in 2010 is we started by refurbishing school toilets here in South Africa around 2010, but then we found gaps in the system where some of the infrastructure that was built was actually not well maintained or used properly, and that was just an issue of lack of awareness and education. So what we did after that is we partnered with the Department of Basic Education and introduced 2 additional programs to our purpose, which is the National Schools Hygiene Program, which is a program that educates over 1 million learners on the importance of good hygiene habits, and also introduced another program called the Cleaner Toilets, Brighter Future program, which actually focuses on upskilling the caretakers that look after toilets in terms of giving them basic skills of keeping toilets clean and safe for learners to use in school.
Absolutely love it. I think of when COVID first rolled around, I just imagined Domestos going like, hold my drink. I'm ready for hygiene. And that's the bottom line. I know you guys have a huge amount of understanding of the space, but I'm so glad you're putting your money where your mouth is as well and making it part of your purpose, the pillars that the company culture is built on. So thank you so much for that. We are hopefully going to be helping so many children along this journey, and we have a way of being able to help ourselves. So here's the deal. Every time that you choose Domestos, you are helping to build a safer school for the kids of South Africa. It's as simple as that. R1 from every bottle of Domestos sold will go towards safer toilets for over 1 million learners. That's a lot of children helped. Epic endeavor, and you can be a part of that. So please stay with us. We're going to continue the conversation. We're going to invite clinical psychologist Dr. Tsepiso Matenje to unpack the long-term effects of poor sanitation. So as we've said, yes, there is the hygiene element of it, but there's dignity as well. And we want our children to be mentally safe and sound as well.
It's Monday, it's time to burn a sweat, it's time to break out in sweat. So get up off the couches. Our workout routine by fitness trainer Lauren Wannenberg is focusing on arms and abs this morning, and a strong upper body is so important not only for strength training moves, but also for loads of everyday activities, from bringing a heavy box down from a high shelf, or maybe pushing open a door, to even carrying bags of groceries up a flight of stairs, but also just to look good. Lauren, it's so good to have you with us again.
Thank you.
I just told her now, like, stop showing off. Look at this body. She's already serving us summer goals, and we're still trying to get in there, girl.
Don't worry, we'll get there.
But like I said, it's not just about, being strong and that, but it's also looking good and feeling confident, and being able to know that you'll be able to pick up a box of something heavy and being able to use that core. So this is exactly what this workout is going to do.
Yes, definitely. Strengthening that core, toning the arms a little bit. Basically summer.
Yeah, summer is here. You don't want to be caught with those wiggly arms and then those cute dresses. You can be like, hi, everybody. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so exercise number 1 is mountain climbers.
Ooh, we all love some mountain climbers on a Monday. This is how we're serving our breakfast.
So just make sure that your hands are directly under your shoulders, and we're working our core and arms. So let's go, just mountain climbers. Nice, let's just give it about 2 more on each side. Lovely. Okay, exercise number 2, okay, shoulder taps, okay? So, 1.
And engaging that core, trying to hold as still as possible and not wobbling from side to side, which is something you usually want to do. You want to just like swing it down and dance. The dancer in me wants to swing it around and put a beat to it, but keeping that core nice and stable.
Keep it tight, yes. Okay. Exercise number 3, okay? We're gonna get into a low plank and we're gonna do oblique twists, okay? So
I hate planks. I hate planks with the life of me, and also I feel like a minute in planks is the longest minute of your life. Wow. But anyway, we gotta do it. We gotta put in the work. So let's go down there.
Go. So oblique twist. There we go.
I'm not talking through this. There's no way.
Work those obliques.
If you want that V-line, if you want that shredded waist, you gotta do this, put in the work. So I get it, I understand. But wow.
Lovely, let's do 2 more on each side.
That was really good.
I like how the boys are just making commentary behind there as if it's the easiest thing ever.
Lovely, okay, we're gonna stay in the low plank for the next one. What we're gonna do is we're going to go low plank and twist through.
You came to work today, girl. You came to work today. Let's do it. So
let's just do 2 on each side.
Okay.
Let's go. And twist, out, out.
I'm shaking, which means we are working.
And switch over.
Boys, you can cheer now. We need you to cheer.
Okay. Let's turn around. We're gonna do crab toe touches.
If you don't have a hype man like G, find yourself a hype man like G this morning. Okay, so crab toe touches?
Yes. So, and 1, 2. 1, 2.
Still focusing on that core.
Go. Yes.
Focusing on that arms. Push Push up, everybody. You can do it. This is your Monday morning reminder that you can do anything that this week throws at you. You can kick it off, push it over, and just get
There
through
we
it.
go. Well done.
And so this is only the beginning.
2 more. Well done.
That is set number 1. How many sets would you do of this?
3 to 4.
Lauren Runneberg, this is why she looks like this, everybody, because she is a beast, she's a queen. Thank you so much for helping us just get into that mindset for the Monday, setting the tone for the rest of the week. Let us know what you thought of that workout. Expresso Morning Show on S3. I think we should do the Mind the Climbers again. I actually like that one.
Let's go.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Simple as CBD should be.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're on live with Expresso. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. Here's a question. Did you know that today, the 11th of October, is International Day of the Girl Child, as declared by the United Nations? This is a day set to focus on the very specific challenges that girls face, and we go on to promote girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their human rights at the most basic level, which sadly we are not getting right in so many ways. So I am so glad that we have the opportunity opportunity to focus on that today. And today we are joined by, we are continuing, in fact, our discussion on the sanitation crisis, I'm going to call it, in our schools, some of our schools, and how this is affecting our female learners in particular. And we are joined once again by the wonderful Nobuhle Ngobane from Domestos, and then psychologist and life coach, Dr. Tsepiso Matenji. Doc, thank you for joining the conversation. We've been all talking about how much we love hygiene. We take it for granted, and maybe it's become so much more of a focus over the last 18 months. But it's beyond me that in this woke society that we exist in, that children, young children especially, are still having to deal with the reality of the kinds of situations that they are when it comes to sanitations, the kinds of toilets that we are seeing, and obviously highlighted by Michael Kompape's story. That, I think, was a massive wake-up call and a mirror held up to our face. But from your perspective, your professional opinion, what kind of effect does having those kind of living conditions have on children especially?
Look, there are certain conditions that are conducive to learning and the healthy development of a child. When you introduce things that create anxiety, that create fear, the fact that the child has to go to the bathroom in a place that is unsafe, that is public, their dignity, their exposure to people who might be bullying them, who might be sexually assaulting them, or even exposing them to drugs, that is a concern. But one of the other things that we know about such environments, because if the toilets are not a safe space, is that just the simple bodily movement of relieving yourself gets interfered with. We've got children who are going to now have anxiety about the fact that they need to go and relieve themselves in a school where everybody else is going to see them, and they might want to constrain the bowel movements.
They will, yeah.
And you know, we psychologically we see children struggling with encopresis and enuresis, where they literally lose control over their body functions, and then they wet themselves when they shouldn't, or even soil themselves when they shouldn't. Or you have the extreme where the child holds so tightly that they don't relieve themselves when they need to. And that just interferes with their ability to be able to deal with what they need to deal with in terms of nature and their bodily functions, and then focus on school and go on with life. So those types of things are unnecessary, and they just create anxiety with a young child.
School becomes a distant second, way distant second. I've got a young girl child now, so maybe this has become a slightly more relevant conversation for me, but there are particular pressures that a young girl faces regardless in a school environment. Now you are taking that and exponentially increasing it. How does this, seeing as we are focusing on the girl child on this day, especially, how does this situation impact on young women especially?
Look, as a young girl, as a young woman, when you go to the toilet, you need to sit down. If the place is dirty, if the place is, there's no door, if you have to do it in a public space, so there's a loss of privacy. Just think also about the sense of dignity that the child has. We want kids to have a positive body image. We want girls to be able to have a very positive body image and a positive self-esteem. How do you do that when anybody in public can see what you're doing, have comments about how you are smelling, what it is that you have done wherever you are? So those types of things are actually harmful in terms of the self-esteem and the body image that we're trying to cultivate in the child. And then we are also concerned about the fact that for children out there, particularly young girls, where the toilets are not safe, they're in public, knowing about personal boundaries, because your privacy is invaded, right? Because you are helping yourself, relieving yourself in a public space. You also realize that how then do we teach you about having personal boundaries around your body, and knowing when it is okay or not okay for somebody to have access to touch you, to see, to even engage with you about certain conversations. So we worry about how it exposes these children to sexual abuse and stuff like that,
And especially at that key phase of development when a young girl is not only setting her idea of what the world is, but her own self-identity, and she's going to carry that with her for the rest of her life.
We've also noted that we've got a lot of kids who they are absent from school because of having their periods. Now, can you imagine in terms of the impact it has on your quality of learning, that inconsistent attendance of school, and we are already manifesting in poor results, poor academic outcomes for girls.
Well, up to a year of school, by the end of their schooling career, because of that factor exactly, a young girl can lose up to a year of her schooling. Domestos has stepped in a very big way, and I'm so glad that this has gone beyond just a great marketing promotion to something that is going to affect, hopefully at the end of this, over 1 million learners. Why should people get on board? We know you've made it easy for us. Why get behind this?
You know what viewers may not know is that over the past decade, through just the simple purchase of Domestos products, they've allowed us to actually invest over 29 million rand in projects that actually help bring cleaner and safer toilets for learners in schools. So, you know, it takes a village, and there's more work that needs to be done, as the doctor has explained. And all we are just asking consumers to do is actually just continue to purchase the brand, because it actually does make an impact, and it will help us end the sanitation crisis along with our partners. So it's very, very important for all of us to partner together and make sure that this sad reality, you know, is one that we see to an end.
I think, but when it gets a little overwhelming, as it is in the face of the last 18 months of every factor of life, whether it's food security, sanitation, period poverty, we just seem to have had a wake-up call, a slap across the face. There is an opportunity for us to help, even if it's just one girl child, make a difference in her life. What are your final thoughts here in this space?
I really would love people to know that there are brands out there that have purpose. When you buy things, be intentional. You might not be involved in a local charity, you might not even be volunteering the local community. But when you buy brands with purpose, like Domestos, you're actually making an impact. It's important that from a place of privilege, you recognize it and you realize you can make a difference in small ways, and buying such brands actually helps you to do that.
When you are cleaning your toilet today, when you are in home in that safe, comfortable, luxurious place that is we rely on so much in our own home, think about those children, especially the young girls that are dealing with a different reality. Thank you so much. This has been a real eye-opener, and hopefully you at home have started thinking about the choices that you can make as a consumer. Yes, you can lead the charge, and I encourage all of you to join Domestos in the fight to win the war against unsafe sanitation and hygiene. R1 from every bottle of Domestos that you buy will go towards safer toilets for 1 million learners. This is a brilliant and easy way for you to support young people.
So, really, really inspired. And I love brands like Domestos are not afraid to get their hands dirty to alleviate the plights of South Africans. Absolutely incredible. But on to something else. Graham's got something else up his sleeve. He's very, very busy today, because I can tell you, Wall South Africa have a competition where you can win yourself something valued at 38,000 Rand. You can win a share of that. Take a look.
Here's a question. Are you someone that enjoys a clean and aesthetically appealing look? There are few things I enjoy as much as a fresh new haircut. Wall is synonymous with barbering and hairstyling, and has in fact been manufacturing the best in hair cutting, trimming, styling and body grooming since, get this, 1919. Now joining us via video call to tell us more is a very proud National Key Account Manager for Wall, Jason Knight. Jason, a very good morning. Your hair looks spectacular, brother.
Oh, thank you. I have to represent the brand, so it better be clean cut and shaved at all times.
And what a brand to represent. What do you appreciate most about it?
Definitely our focus on uplifting people of our beautiful country. So we have various youth drives, and what we do there is we try to equip these young minds to realize the future that they desire, because they are the ones that are going to be taking us into the future. We also want to take care and do a lot of research into the products that we do offer customers, because we want to create value, we want to solve issues, we want grooming to be a feel-good experience in all respects.
Well, I use a Wall to cut my 4-year-old son's hair, and I love it. Makes me feel like an absolute pro. Take us through some of the top products and why they stand out.
There's 2 new products that we brought in. The one is the all-new lithium-ion extreme grip multi-grooming kit. So by multi-groomer, it's got various attachments to cater for various grooming needs. It's got a narrow blade, a wide blade, a little shaver head, so full beard and body concept there. And then the other one is the new cordless multi-cut clipper. So there's a clipper currently in the range. It's white with a blue sticker called the multi-cut. It's otherwise known as the original, because it's been in the country for so long. So we decided to take that, make it cordless, but pack as much power into the product as possible.
Now, I believe you have some exciting news to share with us today. Can you spill the beans?
To help the people of South Africa, to help your family look and feel their best, because we know how important that is. Wall South Africa will be giving away more than 38,000 Rands worth in prizes to 10 lucky winners this week. Each winner will receive the new 22-piece cordless multi-cut kit.
Wow.
We've also decided to throw in a limited edition 18-karat gold-plated trimmer designed specifically to celebrate their centenary. Then following on from that is a cutting cape and a kit bag. So each kit is valued at about 3,800 Rand.
Wow.
And packed in there is pretty much everything you need to go and face the world with wall and go and face the world in style. I mean, who knows? The kit's so comprehensive, maybe somebody can even start a little side hustle.
You had me on 18-karat gold, dude. That's all you really needed to say. Thank you so much for being such a proud ambassador, but I think it comes quite easily with a brand like this. So thank you for your time, my friend, and your enthusiasm.
Anytime, and thank you so much for having me on the show.
Well, there you have it. You stand the chance of winning one of 10 Wall limited edition 18-karat gold-plated trimmer hampers, each one valued at 3,800 Rand. To enter, you simply have to reply to today's competition post on Expresso's Facebook, our Twitter, or our Instagram pages and tell us, how do you pick the right clippers for you? And remember to include that all-important hashtag #WinWithWall in your answer. The competition closes on Friday, the 15th of October, so time is limited. You better get on it. But as always, you can find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Good luck.
Ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized, trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. 1 hour done and dusted. It's flying past. We're going to delve into some of the weekend sports. Slightly more positive outlook on life after this weekend, thankfully.
As well as Georgia and Roderick, her dad. The father and daughter duo are still here.
Sounding so good.
Yeah, so good. But of course, we have to get back to those official duties. It's news headlines with Cole Wasty.
It is indeed. Let's take a look. The Gauteng Health Department has urged employers to take advantage of workplace pop-up vaccination sites. It says employers and any organizations that wish to assist their employees to get the jab can forward their request directly to the vaccination team to have a pop-up or mobile site set up at their office. Workplace vaccinations will be provided to institutions that have 50 or more employees yet to receive the jab. Companies can forward their request via email or call the Gauteng hotline. Contact details are on your screen right now. Meanwhile, South Africa has reported 648 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, which represents a 2.9% positivity rate. A further 25 COVID-19 related deaths have been reported. A senior researcher at the CSIR, Dr. Ridwan Suleiman, says the current low numbers of positive cases in South Africa are probably linked to some level of herd immunity that has developed after the third devastating wave. Now, of course, around a quarter of adults have been fully vaccinated. Suleiman cautioned that a fourth wave is very likely towards the end of the year. On to international news. Dozens of Afghan girls with promising football careers who fled the Taliban have been granted visas to settle in the UK along with their families. The 35-member squad, aged 13 to 19, fled Kabul last month and have since been staying in a hotel in Pakistan where their temporary visas were due to expire today. The girls faced having to return to Afghanistan if another country had not accepted them. Leeds United and Chelsea are among a number of British football clubs which have promised to support them in the UK. Meanwhile, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization have committed to a 10-year program to strengthen mental health and psychosocial support services for children, adolescents, and their caregivers in Africa. As the world marked World Mental Health Day yesterday, they said access to mental health and psychosocial support services remain unequal for children and adolescents in Africa. UNICEF added that at least 1 in 7 children in sub-Saharan Africa experience a significant psychological hardship. And on to some other news for you. South Korean words have been added to the Oxford English Dictionary. Now, from ultra-popular boy band BTS to Netflix hit Squid Game, Korea consistently takes the pop culture world by storm. So it's no surprise Korean words are making their way into the English lexicon. The Oxford English Dictionary has added 26 words of Korean origin in its September update. And there are a few, so excuse my pronunciation, but there's Hallyu, which describes the general Korean wave of cultural influence. For the foodies, there's banchan, a small side dish of vegetables, and bulgogi, a delicious dish of marinated thinly sliced beef or pork. History and sagyuk enthusiasts will recognize hanbok, which is traditional style of Korean clothing, and aegyo is another new addition and describes a type of cuteness or charm considered characteristically Korean. Incidentally, South Korea is rated among the countries in the world with the highest average IQ. Its average of 104.6 takes 4th place after Singapore, China, and Hong Kong. That's a wrap up of your news for now. There'll be another update for you in 1 hour on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's jump over to weather. Jamie Lee is standing by.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wasty. And I'll start with this international weather news first. Now, British Prime Minister Mr. Boris Johnson has said that all of the UK's electricity is going to come from clean energy sources by 2035. He said that the target could be achieved through advances in wind power and other renewable sources. The shift towards renewable energy is part of his government's efforts to cut carbon emissions by 78% by 2035. Now, Johnson's commitment comes ahead of the COP26 conference, a global United Nations summit on tackling climate change to be held in Glasgow, Scotland. Renewables, especially offshore wind, will be the backbone of the shift to clean power. But of course, despite increased use of renewable energy sources, some environmental groups have warned that the government's policies will not be enough to meet its climate goals. And of course, we do love the green initiatives that are being put in place, but we can all make a difference by making simple changes to look after our planet. And that being said, what would a morning be if we couldn't enjoy the gorgeous sunrise images captured by you, our lovely viewers? Now, we have one from Stabiso Mtoko, who took this beautiful overcast image, sharing the caption, "Good morning, Expresso," all the way from Ishowe, Impapala, your show is indeed a feel-good production. Another one came through from William Jumat, who shared this stunning image with us on Friday morning with a message. Good morning, y'all. Have a blessed Friday from the Virginia beach. It's just a breathtaking morning here. We absolutely love seeing it. But right now, here is another look at the temperatures for this Monday. And we start off with you, Polokwane. Do expect a low of 6. That will peak at 22. If you do find yourself in Umbombela, expect a range of 9 to 21. For you, Pretoria, sunshine is coming your way with a range of 10 to 24. As well as for you, Johannesburg, your minimum is 10 with a maximum of 23. Mahikeng, sunshine also coming your way with a range of 12 to 27. Klerksdorp, for you, it is 12, 29. And then Kimberley can be seen with a minimum of 15 and a maximum of 30. Bloemfontein, 10, 27. Richards Bay, partly cloudy conditions ranging from 15 to 24, as well as Pietermaritzburg with a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 27. If you do find yourself in South Africa's playground today, Durban, do expect a low of 17 that will peak at 22. Mthatha, 15, 30, as well as East London following with a low of 18 and a maximum of 26. Craddock, 13, 33. Gqeberha, for you, it is 15, 27. George, partly cloudy conditions as well with a range of 13 to 29. And of course, for the mother city, Cape Town today, you can expect a low of 14 that will peak at 28 today as well. Worcester, 12, 35. Sutherland, 12, 29. And then, of course, Uppington showing off today with a low of 19, peaking at 34. Well, that is where I leave your weather here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Now let's delve into the sport. A bumper weekend of sport on all fronts. A little bit of boxing, some top draw boxing. In fact, the United Rugby Championship got back on track from a South African team perspective, and of course a little bit of drama and spice on the Formula One circuit as we head to Turkey. Mike Pedro, the man with his finger on the pulse, is here. I asked him to give me some hope on Friday, and you delivered, my friend. Back on track. Finally, the South African teams in the United Rugby Championship show what we are capable of. Let's start with the Sharks, and that game just proved how rugby, it's all about the bounce of the ball, and when things are going your way, they really do go your way. But take nothing away from a brilliant, much improved performance on all fronts, be it defensively, be it in their structures, be it in their attack. The Sharks looked absolutely amazing. 27-13 over the Ospreys.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks, Graham. It was a much improved performance across the board from the South African teams, as you rightly mentioned there. The Sharks kicking things off in a very good way on Friday, beating Ospreys 27-3. Henry Chamberlain with 3 drop goals in that match, and then 2 tries as well for the Durban side. Jeremy Ward and Marnus Potgieter scoring those points for Sean Everett's men. And I think you can see the adjustment. We spoke about the adjustment that needs to be made on Friday in terms of the physicality on defense and a little bit more creativity in attack. And I think that was evident in the performance by the Sharks against the Ospreys and also by the other South African teams as well. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come for the SA teams in the United Rugby Championship, and this will be sort of a platform for them to kick on for the rest of the competition.
You were rightly kind of focusing on the fact that we would need some time to find our feet, certainly in the nuance of the game and how it's played up north. In one area, I think we were all going, oh, not again, when the Bulls in the first half of their match up against Cardiff, something like 14 penalties or something ridiculous, just sucked the momentum right out of their play. And it just looked like they had no clue as to how to control that breakdown area, especially going for the halftime break. Jake White obviously said something magical, just proving how good the structures within that Bulls camp are. And you think of how quickly they were able to turn that around. Again, a much improved performance from the Bulls. Now they're starting to look like the team that's dominated South African rugby for the last 18 months.
Yeah, and this again is what we spoke about on Friday, with the Bulls being sort of the biggest disappointment so far among the SA teams in the Rugby Championship, just because they've dominated the local scene for so long and they seem to struggle in the opening couple of games over in Europe. And that adjustment was clearly made in the second half of their game. They were trailing 16-3 at halftime, and then Ulrich Loh and Mardos Tambwe coming up with the tries to help Jake Whiteside to a 29-19 win. And again, hopefully that second half, like the Sharks, in the previous week before they played Ospreys. Their second half was a lot better against the Warriors, and that obviously translated into their performance on Friday against Ospreys. And hopefully, from a Bulls perspective, they can take that second half performance in this game and move it on to the next match, because I think everybody is looking to the Bulls and to Jake White, especially a guy with so much experience, a coach who's been at the top level for so long, to see what he can get out of a mixed bag in terms of youth and experience at that Bulls side.
Yeah, and they've got the right balance there. I think Kurtley Arendse, for me, and you could hear the commentators were just frothing, hoping to see more of his counter-attacking ability. Brilliant performance all round, as you said, from all of the South African franchises. And even the Stormers, who couldn't quite get the win, showed some incredible heart. And that's the kind of Stormers team that we love to see when they're playing a free-flowing, attacking kind of rugby. And again, they didn't lose, which is fantastic. And they'll take a lot of positives out of that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their first points on the board in terms of log position, getting that 20-all draw. Interestingly enough, all the points in that game coming in the first half, none at all in the second, which is very strange. But again, the Stormers showing that they are one of the best defensive teams. We spoke about defense on Friday as well. And heading into this game, the Stormers had the third best defense overall in the competition. And you could see that they were a little bit hesitant in the opening stages, conceding those 2 tries in the first 10 minutes. That sort of gave them a bit of a shock to the system and a bit of a wake-up call. And then hit back with tries of their own. Warwick Talant going over for the first one. And then after that, dominating with the boot and dominating possession as well. So overall, I think it was a good performance, obviously, after they conceded the first 2 tries.
Yeah.
And again, something for John Dobson and his team to build on heading into the remaining weeks of the tournament. Yeah,
I mean, it could have gone horribly wrong when those first 2 tries came in so quickly. I thought, there's no way they're going to be able to maintain that and stop the rot, but they were brilliant. Just very quickly, of course, the Lions went down 13-9 to the Warriors, the only blemish on our scorecard. Just very quickly, the Turkish Grand Prix, bit of drama there, great win for Valtteri Bottas. What did you make of Lewis Hamilton and the bit of drama that's surrounding his choice not to go in pit to change tyres when he did? Then he lost 2 places. Bit of a mess for Mercedes.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, it's not the first time that this has happened this season. It's happened on a couple of occasions already where Hamilton's had a bit of a disagreement with his pit crew on when to come into the pit lane and when to change tyres. And again, it's cost him a couple of places. He ended up finishing 5th behind Charles Leclerc and the 2 Red Bull drivers, Verstappen and Perez, and obviously his teammate Bottas, who took the win, his first of the season as well. And again, that shows, I don't know, maybe the pressure of having Verstappen right on his tail before this race in terms of the drivers' standings. Maybe that little bit of pressure that the Dutchman is putting on is starting to take its toll on Hamilton and his team. You never know, but also, again, it's not the first time this has happened, so anything could happen in the remaining 6 races. Verstappen's now in the lead in the Drivers' Championship because of those positional switches in the Turkish Grand Prix. There is a bit of a break again before the next race in the USA, so from a Mercedes perspective, they'll be hoping they can get the strategy right and that they can be on the same page with Hamilton throughout that race, just to try and claw back some of the deficit that they now face heading into that race.
Yeah, man, like you say, that cost him the championship lead. 6 points, the difference now for Verstappen. We look forward to the US Grand Prix in a couple of weeks' time. Mike, thank you so much. So much more hope around this weekend of sports, and certainly from a United Rugby Championship perspective, what a turnaround.
We go from Formula 1 to what is a winning formula right behind me. Get ready to stand up, South Africa, because that's the name of an all-new show, Sunday, 6:30 on SABC2. Make sure you catch these 2 behind me. They're about to give you a taste of their talents, and this song is by Al Green. It's called Let's Stay Together. So stand by and get ready to stand up and give a standing O to these 2. It's Roderick and Georgia Salo.
You make me feel so
standing ovation. Yes, you do. And they'll be back with a couple more performances for you, giving you a little taste of what you can expect on Sunday on SABC2 at 6:30 in Stand Up South Africa. And another standing ovation at home. Don't worry, I'll see it. That's Roderick and George DeSalo.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. We promised you a little bit of love. In fact, a lot of love this morning. We are being joined this morning by a very special guest, Chief Operating Officer of Mrs. South Africa, Marlene Reddy Ribeiro. She is riding very high, I think, from her recent fairy tale wedding to her husband, her Nani, and they have shared quite the journey to the altar. Having met on a dating app, like that's what you do these days. She's on the couch right now, and we're going to be joined by Honani on a video call as they tell us a bit more about their stunning wedding. But first of all, there he is, that gorgeous man. Hi. Look at him.
That's your man.
Look at him. That's your man. First of all, a very big congratulations to both of you. Well done.
Thank you. Marlene, I'll start with you. Honani, I'm going to speak to you as well, but Marlene, I'll start with you. What a wedding. I mean, you served girls from the beginning, from the venue, the 20th floor of the venue in Sandton. Your dress, you had outfit changes galore. What was the theme of the wedding?
Well, we are very simple and understated. So we went away from the traditional romantic bush-style wedding, and we went for something very clean and modern, city, because we live in the city. And yeah, the theme was black and white, and my first gown was pink, as you can see.
Blush pink.
Blush pink, but very understated. No lace, no pearls, very clean and elegant. And yeah, I had an outfit change. All brides should have that prerogative.
As one must.
Yes,
yeah.
How often do you get that chance to have your special day? So just do it right.
And you did it right.
Yeah, you guys look beautiful. Yeah, I know every couple in Joburg gets married in the cradle of humankind.
Yes.
I'm thinking, but yeah, you've got the most amazing city backdrop, and we live in the city.
Yes.
You know, be a part of that, and it just captured it beautifully. Nani, I'm going to start to you. The guys looked pretty slick as well. You looked amazing. Formal black attire. What motivated that choice and the decision to have the wedding on the 20th floor of the venue in Green Park in Sandton?
Well, thanks, team. Great to meet you guys. Well, I'm adding on to what Marlene was saying. It's basically just adding on to our city theme. I'm a big fan of Frank Sinatra, and I just wanted to add on to the black and white theme, and we let the city speak for itself and let it be our backdrop for our wedding. So it was less decor, it was very simple. And then when it became nighttime, all the city lights came up and looked stunning.
Oh, wow. Are you falling in love again, Marlene?
Yeah, he looks so handsome.
He looks so handsome. I mean, you guys have been married for a month and a half now, so it's still all the butterflies. How's married life been treating you?
Well, we are a little bit older, and we have lived together before we got married, so it isn't massively different. We're just trying to enjoy the honeymoon stage and being newlyweds, but life is busy. We do have a 15-year-old son, and we both have super busy careers, so yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's adjusting to married life now.
I'm old. And I'm about to get married, okay? And I love the fact that it's not for convention, it's not for societal pressure, it's just for us. It's an opportunity for you to do something that you want to do for yourselves as a couple.
Absolutely.
So that, especially after the last 18 months.
Definitely.
There's something magical about that. Hernani, obviously you represent a pretty awesome modern South African couple and family, and certainly I think get each other racing with your shared love of motorcycles. It's good to be able to connect and have those kind of hobbies. But on a deeper level, how are you hoping to grow and evolve together in the coming years now that you've taken the step, now that you've officially put a ring on it?
Well, basically, I think I speak for everyone in South Africa. Every couple has its challenges and hopes and dreams. I just hope that we evolve and grow together more, and more understanding, and be there for each other on good days and support each other during the bad days as well. So I think that's my hope for the future, and I'm sure that everybody out there is wishing the same. And you know, we are just a normal couple like anyone else in South Africa, and I hope we inspire people to, it's never too late, and dating apps aren't a bad thing. Trust me, it does work.
Certainly inspiring.
Swipe right, baby.
Yes,
Swipe right.
Swipe right. Yes. Well, he's super liked, so we'll get to that.
Okay, yeah, and we're not going anywhere. You're going to be telling us where it all started, which is on a dating app, believe it or not.
Yes, that's crazy as it is. Yes.
A year and 8 months later, you guys are together, married, happily married.
Yes,
for a
happily
month
married.
now. Congratulations once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're going to continue the conversation in just a moment and focus on finding love online, but always helping others to shine in the spotlight when she puts events together. On the 28th of August, as we said, it was Marlene's turn to take center stage. Here's what went down at Hernani and Marlene's glittering matrimonial affair. After meeting on a dating app, Marlene Reddy and Hernani Ribeiro are getting ready to take their next step in their beautiful love story with a glamorous wedding ceremony at the Sandton Convention Centre.
Hi guys, welcome to our big day. Thank you for being with us to celebrate today. Come inside and take a look at all the excitement behind the scenes of our big day. So I actually started off in the HR field, and I was in HR for almost 12 or 13 years. Then when I entered Mrs. South Africa, I actually took a sabbatical from the corporate world and decided to take a bit of time off and enjoy the pageant experience because I'd never done that before. And 5 years later, I am now the Chief Operating Officer for Mrs. South Africa. Okay, so the big day is here. I have to admit this week has been actually quite stressful. I think it's a little bit different when it's your own big day, even though I come from the industry and I know what what planning events is all about.
She's incredible at her job, and it is so reflected in her wedding today, because she's also director of events at Mrs. South Africa, and the way she's put together this event is just such a testament to her character and her work ethic.
They met online, and I think what's really cute about them as a couple is that they click, like they're best friends before they're actually a couple.
The whole idea behind Marlene's hairstyle was creating a look that is timeless. So creating a look that in 10 years' time when she looks at her photos, that it will still resonate the styles.
I'm moments away from our big day, and I'm very excited. It's been a long time coming, especially with COVID regulations. We had to postpone our wedding already once, so I'm very excited for the day to start.
I think one of the reasons why I love him so much is because he loves my son Ryan almost like a birth father to him, and they have an incredible relationship together, which is what I admire. We complement each other because we are definitely opposites, whereas I'm very type A, he's very go with the flow.
My key points on the whole day, I think, was just wonderful to see everyone coming out and made a huge effort to come out and enjoy this day with us.
And my hopes and dreams for the future is that we continue in the spirit of Ubuntu, we continue in the spirit of overcoming as we've done for the last 2 years, and we build a better future for our son, and we build a better future together.
You know, you grow very fond of Marlene very quickly, and she's one phenomenal woman, a super powerhouse.
Have fun, enjoy your marriage, and guess what? Create your own rules. I love you guys so much, and I'm so humbled and blessed to have been part of this beautiful celebration.
A hearty congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Reddy Ribeiro on a joyous start to a lifetime of happy memories. Yay!
So beautiful!
That's stunning. You look gorgeous.
Thank
oh
you.
my goodness.
Thank you. It's the first time I'm seeing video highlights of it. So,
And the after party looked
Yes.
solid.
It was curfew compliant, so we were done by 9, unfortunately, but we started early, so it was still a good party.
Oh no, you guys looked amazing. Sending you nothing but love and all of the positive energy we can muster. You guys have earned the right, but you're not going too far because we're going to continue the chat. Marlene is going to share more about how she and her gorgeous hubby Hunani met in just a moment. Got the look? Brilliant. Now you can keep it, as Wall SA offers you the chance to win one of 10 Wall limited edition 18-karat gold-plated trimmer hampers to the value of 3,800 Rand each. To enter, reply to the daily competition post on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter or Instagram pages, answer the question and include the hashtag #WinWithWall in your answer. Competition closes Friday the 15th of October. Terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. We're live in S3, and when I saw Jamie Lee and Graham chatting to such an inspiring person, I had to jump on the couch as well and say hi. I just had to. So we've seen the gorgeous wedding ceremony, and I saw it, wowza, of Mrs. South Africa Chief Operating Officer Marlene Reddy Ribeiro and her husband Henani. But now it's time to take a closer look at how their love story all began. And guess what? It was on a dating app.
She's right, everybody. Now, Marlene is back on the couch alongside our relationship expert, clinical psychologist Asha Dulab, to share more about it and to give some tips on those who want to try their hand at online dating. Ladies, firstly, color coding, looking at
Right.
these beautiful.
We didn't wavelength.
No.
We didn't get the memo.
Where's the memo?
Yeah, we didn't get the memo.
I could have done a beautiful shade of pink here.
I think it would have
Gorgeous.
worked with the mohawk.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But ladies, I think it's so important to chat about not only the fact that you have, such a beautiful story, dating app. Hello, but there's also some connections to it. That's why we have a clinical psychologist. So we got all of our bases covered. Right?
Yes.
Jamie Lee? Jamie Lee, we got our bases covered, Jamie Lee. Ask away. I'm going to sit back and watch you.
I am so
Go for it.
invested in this conversation
Knew it.
because you were a single mom,
yes,
working hard, doing everything, and then you decided I'm going to go on an app and I want to see where this is going. What was the mindset going in this? Were your intentions to get married straight away?
Definitely not. I think I was just a busy mom, single mom, working full time. And where do you meet people? I mean, in my 30s, I'm not out at clubs, I'm not out at bars, I'm at home with my son. So how else do you connect? You have to, go with technology. I mean, it's 2021 now. So I decided, why not? Let's give it a try. The intention was not to get married. The intention was just to be open-minded, connect with new people, have some fun. And now 18 months later, here I am, married.
And you said he's super light.
Yes.
So for those that don't know what super light means, it means that he made the first move, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now it's getting hot. I like it. Okay. Look at that picture there. Look at that. That's steamy. I like it. But, okay, this is why we brought in a clinical psychologist. So, Asha, I just want to ask you around putting yourself out there. I think this is an important part because when people hear online dating, immediately they recoil. They're like, online dating, stalker alert, stalker alert. There's people that post on Facebook, it could be them. Hi. So I think it's important to start off with how does one get to a point where you can be open-minded enough to put yourself out there and say, I'm ready to take on something. I'm not sure what it is, but let's see where this goes.
Yes, I think the key word is open-minded. I think for a single mom, it's one's level of self-care, that perception of oneself, which links into one's self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, where you really know who you are and you know your intention of what you want to engage with, even if it's just for fun or like Marlene says, it was just, her intention was just meet someone, have some fun, and she's married. So I think intention is critical. Know what you want, put yourself out there authentically without the need to be pretentious or put on a role.
Beautiful.
I hate this because now I'm feeling like I need to go down at the app just because there's a story here. Marlene, how soon into chatting with your nanny? Don't laugh.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm just saying I'm picturing you in your tower. Now you're about to let down your hair of the dating app. You know what I mean? That's great.
Catfish. I'm going to catfish everybody out there. But how long into chatting with your nanny do you know, okay, listen, this is getting serious now. This is something I want to pursue. I want to make things a bit more serious.
Well, like I said, I went in not with the intention of even getting necessarily into a relationship. So we took a lot of time to actually get to know each other. I think it was 3 or 4 months where people didn't even know we were dating each other, and I liked it that way. And then one day we were at dinner with his friends, and I go into Facebook, and there he's updated his relationship status. So then I guess we're dating now. So he actually made the first move to make it official. But it took a few months. It took a few months.
Okay, made him work for it. Well done. I think another little area here, I think, and this, Asha, you actually said this quite nicely, is around that pretentiousness that comes through. Sometimes you get out there and you're thinking, I'm online now. I can be whoever I want to be. But when stuff gets real, you got to be who you are at the end. I think we need some tips. I think anybody, when I say we, don't follow my eyes. But just some tips. I think tips are key, both on, let's just say, maybe a few red flags, And then, of course, tips to how you can be authentically you in a world that's kind of scary, which is online dating.
I would firstly say, put yourself out there to experience something that's new, because I know there's a lot of horror stories about online dating.
Many.
But I think, firstly, put yourself in the most natural state of being. Take a picture that places you maybe with your child or your pet, or an environment that actually embraces an aspect of your true identity. Sometimes, we have these selfies that are taken that is, put
Overly
filtered,
filtered.
and it lacks that authenticity. I think that there's several red flags, but that links into one's feeling and one's gut. I think you would feel when there's a red flag, when you don't feel comfortable, and then go with that. But like I say, be open to the experience. That's the first thing. Be open to the diversity of the experience and what you may be embraced with, because I think that from my experience working with so many people with online dating is that there's something for everyone. Whether you're looking for a friendship or companionship or to have fun, or you want to get married, there's something for everyone.
Oh. Something for everyone. Something for everyone. Just going to say, ladies, thank you so much for sharing what is a fairy tale, and of course the realities, which is so important to have that balance on the couch. More importantly, the balance of color palette and this outfit.
Which was perfect today.
I feel like that's what, this is actually a profile picture right here. But it's fine. Take the plunge, and of course, make sure that you set your profile up to date. And who knows who you may meet. There could be somebody special, right?
Yes, stay tuned as well, as Marlene is going to be showing us her skills in the kitchen in just a moment. But of course, on social media today, we asked you, do you have any online dating stories? Please do share them with us. We like this. We like the tea. We like when you guys tell us all your stories. So a few of you came online to share your stories with us. One of them being Lavinia Fortune saying, morning, hi, I met my husband online. We dated 3 months. I said, Kykie, ek het klaar 2 kinders getrou. 19th of July, 2008, laugh out loud. He was like, I don't know, that's probably like a shock face. And today we are married 14 years with 5 kids. So you just have to put yourself out there and be like, Kykie,
Yeah, Chicky, like this is the reality, man. This is what your package deal. This is what you bought in your bundle.
Kykie.
All right, that's it.
Kykie.
Another comment that came through now is from Maka. Good morning. Oh, yes, thanks to that dating site. We have met in 2016 and we're still together ever now. And, of course, going to that dating site was the best thing that has happened to me in my life. We're still happy, loving each other. And he has asked me to move in with him this year.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. Anything can happen.
It can happen, everybody. But a way to a man's heart is in the kitchen. So Gia is standing by to swipe right on all the amazing dishes we have for you.
Yum.
Yep, this one is a showstopper, and it's really simple to make. Panna cotta, we absolutely love it. It's a velvety, rich and creamy Italian dessert, traditional. We all know it, we love it, but here's the kicker. It's really easy to make and can be prepared in advance. Not only is it one of our favorite dessert recipes to make here on the show, it's also Marlene's, and you might not know that she's a little bit of a foodie as well and pretty adept in the kitchen. I'm going to ask Marlene to join us right now. There was a very quick change.
Yes. Into my apron.
And you're going to be doing something really simple. And I think what I love about this is it is a bit of a showstopper because it looks quite bougie.
Yes. Well, I think every good home cook needs to have 1 or 2 tricks in their arsenal that looks very fancy, but you can make ahead of time, is very simple, and looks very elegant.
Elegance, that's the key thing here. And it's nice because you can balance the rich creaminess of the panna cotta out with some beautiful seasonal fresh berries. So you've got that acid to cut through the beautiful creaminess. But it's easy to make, you say.
Very
so prove it to
easy.
me. So I'm going to just pop this on the heat for you right now.
Thank
and then the rest is yours.
So super easy, 5 ingredients: cream, milk, sugar, vanilla extract, and some gelatin powder.
Okay.
Has to be powder, not the leaves.
Okay, so I was wondering why we had separated milk. So this milk then is to bloom the gelatin before we put
correct.
it. Okay,
That's
great.
correct. So I actually don't have much of a sweet tooth, but entertaining, you have to have things that, and I love things that you can make in advance and put into the fridge a day or 2 earlier, and then it's kind of done. So this is something that I've been making for about a decade or so.
And it's quite a grown-up dessert.
Very grown-up, and it always looks looks so elegant, and it's very refreshing, especially for summer. So yes, so it's super easy. Thank you for putting my cream on for me. So literally in here we have about 250 ml of long life cream. I use the Woolies long life cream because I can always have it on standby.
Enough said, yeah.
And we just warm that up, and then we've got 250 ml of full cream milk. So it has to be full cream and cow's milk, not almond milk or low-fat skim milk. And we just kind of just warm these two together. So I'm just going to get this on. And it has to be on a low heat, though, Graham. Very slow. And this is not also something you're going to put on and then try and do something else.
Okay, just focus and get it right.
Very low heat.
The end result will be worth it.
Definitely. So we're not going to boil this. We just want it to heat quite slowly. And it's good. It'll happen fairly quickly, and we're just going to flavor that. So into that, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar, just depending on your sweet tooth.
Because you want a hint of that. You don't want it to be overly sweet, but it does need to have that finish.
Absolutely, because you're going to serve it with berries, so it doesn't have to be too sweet. And then some good vanilla extract with the beans, so you can see it when it's done, and it looks very professional.
I love that, because that's what you need. Like, for me, a panna cotta should be vanilla, and it should have the wobble.
Absolutely.
As long as you've got those two things.
It has to have the wobble, and I think I've perfected the recipe where you pretty much just need about for this 500 ml, about 2 teaspoons of powdered gelatin.
Okay.
Gives it that perfect wobble where it just holds together, but it's still set and it'll still look...
It's not too gelatinous, to use a very unsexy kitchen word, but I prefer the wobble. And then it's vital that you bloom your...
Yes, so I'm just putting some cold milk in. And we're just going to leave this aside just to get the gelatin activated.
See, what I love is when people are used to doing these little cooking tutorials on their Insta or that sort of thing, where it comes so easily to come and talk through a recipe on. But this is one of those, like, during lockdown, I really embraced cooking. And I've always been handy as a cook, but I started baking, started pushing the boat out, just trying different and new things. Did lockdown improve you as a cook? Do you think you'd be the foodie that you are?
I think I always was a foodie, and Portuguese and Indian culture, eating around the table is like, you have to do that. So it definitely inspired me to try more recipes and be a little bit more creative. But I think, also there's some COVID pounds there that need to go.
So we're all in that boat.
We're all in that
boat. It's just love. It's love installation. I love that. I hadn't thought about that Portuguese-Indian food marriage.
Spicy,
and itself. That is going to be special. No pressure in the kitchen.
No, well, he does the seafood, I do the Indian.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it works.
We're meant for each other, man.
So then, yes, we've got this now. We've taken our cream and milk mixture off the stove, and it hasn't boiled. If it's boiled, it's not going to come out right. So
the cream will split.
Absolutely. So then we simply take our gelatin that's bloomed and put this in.
Wow, you weren't kidding. It really is that
easy.
And simple.
And we're just going to make sure this is combined.
So what I'm going to do here is I've got a beautiful finished product, and I'm just testing its bounciness. And I'm going to add some of the fresh berries here. And go seasonal, go with what works. And I'm doing this purely so I can eat it now.
And as you can see, you can do that like the night before or 2 days before. So on the day you're actually entertaining, it's not too hectic. But that's it.
It's simple, it's easy,
sit.
It's light, and it's quite chic. I think this is beautiful. I'm going to give it a little go.
Good. I'm glad it gets the...
What I love about it, it is indulgent, but it's not too rich.
It's a good palate cleanser. So if you had a nice meal, heavy meal at the end, it's light and refreshing. And like you said, it looks beautiful on the table.
Yeah, man. I'm just imagining the amazing food that you guys are going to be making. It's been so lovely connecting with you. Please stick around, because we're going to continue to celebrate love, because we love on this show. And if you love this, of course, the recipe is available along with all of our culinary inspiration on expressoshow.com. Go and try this one out, especially for this season. It's an absolute winner. Join Expresso this spring to stand a chance of winning a 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher weekly, as we ask how you colour your life. Is it the cherry red in your ride, maybe the burst of new blues from your garden, or the sunsets and seascapes of a favourite getaway? Well, answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Then colour your life with 4,000 Rand paint vouchers to be won all spring on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are still live with Expresso. As I said before the break, we continue to celebrate love because we love on the show. We have found out all about Marlene Reddy Ribeiro's love story, as cool as it has been, and of course her beautiful recent wedding. And now it's time to find out all about her journey from being Mrs. South Africa's second princess back in 2016 to becoming the organization's chief operating officer, all while raising her awesome teenage son, Ryan Nike. And they're both on the couch to give us a little scope into their lives and mother-son relationship, and hopefully not to embarrass you too much, bro. My mom used to embarrass me all the time. She was just that kind of mom, and I think she still gets great joy out of it.
Prerogative of a mother that has a teenage son?
No, Mom, it's not. Does she embarrass you? Is she that kind of mom, dude?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I think I do.
We love it. We love the fact that you're painting this multi-dimensional picture of what a woman can be and should be. Quite a turning point, 2016, obviously, and I've seen this with friends of mine who have entered and gone through, I don't want to even call it a pageant because it's a platform. It's something that kind of gives you a chance to activate your life. So what was your career like before, and now how has your life changed in this new role?
I think before I entered, I was pretty much just a corporate working mom, doing the 9 to 5, doing the school run, trying to cook, trying to do homework, trying to balance all of it. And like you said, Mrs. South Africa is not just a competition. It really gave me the platform to transform into what I didn't even know I wanted to be. And I think that's why I love it so much, because it's a journey long that you will really connect with other women and you will find the best version of yourself, even if you don't know what that is right now.
I think by that stage, a lot of you, and I speak from the experience of interviewing so many of these amazing women, you forget about yourself.
Definitely.
You've become, sorry, I'm still eating the panna cotta that your mom made me. It's nice to have a mom that can cook that well. But I think you work, children, there are so many things that take place, understandably, that you forget about who you really want to be. But there's one thing taking part and being inspired by it. There's another thing becoming the CEO. What prompted that decision? What was it about this organization and what it does that made you say, okay, I want to actually be a part of this journey?
I think it's simple. Once I entered and I actually felt the transformation myself, and you're right, in your early 30s, I think as most women in South Africa, you tend to lose yourself. You forget about your passions, your desires, your goals. And that's why I entered. And when I saw it and I saw what it could do for me, and I realized the woman I'd become after the year, I was like, I want a piece of that. I want to see other women. I want to be involved in other women transforming. And it was simple. And yeah, 5 years later, here I am.
Yeah, and we look at what the women are doing, the ripples of success that you've put out into the world. Buddy, having a mom like this, you can see it's obviously a great role model to have in the household, but she's still your mom, you know? She's still that person that you get to rely on. What's the best advice mom's ever given you, dude?
I'd probably say, like, the best advice she's given me is practice makes perfect. Because every time I ask her how she does something, she always says that. I'm like,
Do you put it on board, though? Because I was terrible at taking my mother's advice. I think I was so frustrating for my poor mom. Are you a good son to your amazing mom? Do you think you frustrate her?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's not a typical teenager. He's actually an amazing child. I don't know how I got it so right. He's definitely a human being that inspires me to be better. He's incredible.
Oh, man, I love that. So what are the plans? What designs do you have on life with a role model like this? What do you want to do when you're all grown up?
Well, I actually want to become an engineer when I grow up. But
love that. Why?
Because I've always liked to build things. I enjoy building things like Lego, and I like to fix things. And
I absolutely love that, man. New dad in the mix in a new kind of space, and I say that with great love and affection, because you've obviously had to go on this journey with mom and get a front row seat to the wedding. What has the relationship been like with Hernani and kind of introducing him into your life? What's that journey been like?
It's been a lot of fun because he also likes a lot of things that I like motorsports and F1 and cars, planes.
I'm thinking this is a thing. Will he be allowed to ride bikes?
I would, if you asked me 2 years ago, I would have said no. But now that we've actually experienced it and we know how safe a rider Nani is, he will be allowed to. I think so.
And that's on camera now. On camera.
Yeah.
It's
I
been
think you've
recorded.
enjoyed it as well. You've enjoyed riding bikes as well. So yeah.
And now that you've got this perfect little union with both of the men in your life, how happy are you that you've got that kind of male role model in your space now as well?
Absolutely. I think it's imperative for any young teen male, and my son in particular, to have a good, strong role model. And he's lucky that he's got a lot of them. My dad, his new stepdad, his father's actually very involved in his life as well. And I think it's imperative, as much as I can love him as a mom, he needs a role model to grow into a great young man.
Yeah, it's all going to feed into your success. I know that you're making your dad really proud. You're certainly making your mom really proud. And I know that you'll make Hernani really proud as well. So cool to meet you, young man. You didn't embarrass him too badly today. But I can see how proud you are of him. And I share a really special relationship with my mom as well, and I can understand that. So thank you so much for coming and opening your heart and giving us some advice, and for cooking for me this morning. And hopefully we have inspired you to get out there and look for love. Be open to it. You might just find it online.
I think Ryan is so awesome, just a natural for TV. Did you feel that? Just a natural. I love that guy. So this morning we've got some good news for you. We're happy to announce the 10 fortunate winners who went on to the Insider SA social pages and entered to win 10 gigabyte data bundles, courtesy of Vodacom. You have to say it just like that. Can we have a drum roll, please? Here we go.
Yes, we can.
Come on, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
10 winners. The first one is Willem Smith.
Yes,
The
Willem.
second one is Gary John Tembe.
Yes, Gary. Then Naomi Mbatu Mokele is another one, and Marius Migaz Daniels.
Portia Chidi also coming in strong, as well as Pesi M.
And then you got Lebogang Moagi, as well as Mikateko Wendy. Hello.
Hello. Nicole Lont, as well as Louis Vakaza. Congratulations.
Yes, man.
Those 10 winners. Woo. Please do enjoy experiencing and unlocking so much more with your Vodacom data bundles. Send us some SMS even now.
WhatsApp,
everything.
You know that this week is a big week because the Insider SA, you actually stand a chance to win another one of 10 gigabyte data bundles. That is a lot of gigs. Think about it, all right? But this is actually your gig. To enter, find the Vodacom post on the Insider SA. I feel like the Mission Impossible music is playing in my head on the social pages. Then comment on the post telling us what you like most about the Vodacom Red plans. Done.
Yes, that's it. Is the song done in your head now? You can also find out more about the benefits of the new Vodacom Red packages by watching the Insider SA this evening at 5:30 p.m. on SABC3. Now see how actor and restaurateur Tapelo Mokoena, Uncle T, keeps his business and family life together with Vodacom Red. Meet some of his industry friends and also find out how their food industry is adapting in these challenging times. We can't wait to see him tonight.
So go on and watch watch the show tonight, then head on over to the Insider SA pages to enter, and you can be one of 10 winning the 10 gigabyte data bundle so you can experience Red and unlock more.
And of course, the competition closes Saturday at midnight. And remember, those T's and C's can be found on the website of the insidersa.co.za. Din, 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 din.
Nespresso new Virtuo, with a single touch and innovative technology for a generous crema and unique moments to share. Virtuo, standards are meant to be broken. Nespresso, what else?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. You're still live here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is World Coming Out Day, so we're going to get into that conversation. Of course, we still have father and daughter duo Roderick and Georgia to take you into this Monday, but it is down to the final hour on the show, and it's time to have those official headlines with Carl Wasty.
Let's wrap it up for you in your Feel Good Breakfast Show. The City of Cape Town says its automated number plate recognition technology has assisted traffic officers in tracking motorists with outstanding warrants and identifying forged license plates. Mayoral Committee member for Safety and Security, JP Smith, says the devices can also scan a license plate or the vehicle disc to indicate whether there are fines linked to the license plate. Smith says they received 445 complaints of duplicated number plates in recent months. He said the increase in the cloning of number plates is a worrying trend. The Gauteng Health Department, meanwhile, has urged employers to take advantage of workplace pop-up vaccination sites. It says employers and any organizations that wish to assist their employees to get the jab can forward their request directly to the vaccination team to have a pop-up or mobile site set up at their offices. Workplace vaccination will be provided to institutions that have 50 or more employees yet to receive the jab. Companies can forward their request via email or call the Gauteng hotline. Contact details are on your screen right now. On to international news. A Colombian nun kidnapped by Islamists in Mali 4 years ago has been freed. Gloria Cecilia Narvaez was taken hostage in 2017 while working as a missionary in Koutiala, some 400 kilometers east of the capital Bamako. Now, photos posted by the Malian presidency showed the Franciscan nun was doing well in meeting with the interim president, Assimi Goita. It is not clear whether a ransom was paid to secure her release. release. The president's office said her release came after more than 4.5 years of combined effort by several intelligence services. Over to dozens of Afghan girls with promising football careers who fled the Taliban. They have been granted visas to settle in the UK along with their families. The 35-member squad, aged 13 to 19, fled Kabul last month and have since been staying in a hotel in Pakistan, where their temporary visas were due to expire today. The girls faced having to return to Afghanistan if another country had not accepted them. Leeds United and Chelsea are among a number of British football clubs which have promised to support them in the UK. And next, news of a woman one can only admire. Just weeks after her 35th birthday, well-known SA ultramarathon athlete Nontungabi continues with the biggest challenge of her life when she attempts to successfully complete one of the world's iconic ultra distances, foot races, the Marathon des Sables. Now, this largely unsupported journey of some 250 kilometers across the hot desert sands of southern Morocco started on 1 October and it ends today. Her participation will undoubtedly change the lives of hundreds of school children, and this is, of course, with the Kipunkunzi Primary School in Mtutuba as well, that was in KwaZulu-Natal, for better. Now, she is helping to raise funds to build new ablution facilities and an administration block for the school. Last year, she ran 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days in the 2020 World Marathon Challenge and raised 1.7 million rand for school uniforms and 5 fully furnished classrooms at the same school. Mgabi is a registered psychologist with a master's degree in psychology and a general manager of human resources at Richards Bay Coal Terminal in KZN. What an athlete. So let's definitely just take off our hats and, of course, just say thank you to Nontungabi. And I think she sets a nice example for us to make any sort of small change we can in our respective communities. That wraps up the news for now. Let's stand by for some sport. Graham is right here.
Thank you so much, Carl. And we kick it off with boxing, and the Gypsy King has retained his crown. Tyson Fury has indeed retained his WBC heavyweight title when he sent Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber, to the canvas for a 3rd time with a vicious right hand to the ear in the 11th round in Las Vegas. So Fury weathered an early storm, though, and knocked Wilder down in the 3rd round with a short uppercut. But the American responded in the 4th, knocking Fury down twice with shots to the head. Fury then took control after the fight with tactics similar to their 2nd fight, knocking Wilder off his feet in the 10th round before ending the brutal affair with a clean right hand to the side of his head that sent Wilder face first into the canvas. So that win sees the Briton extend his record to 31 wins, 1 draw from 32 fights. Then on to Formula 1, Valtteri Bottas won the Turkish Grand Prix as a 2nd place for Max Verstappen returned the Red Bull driver to the championship lead. Now, Sergio Perez finished 3rd, while Charles Leclerc, he crossed the line in 4th place. Lewis Hamilton was 5th, disagreeing with his team over the radio over their decision to make a late pit stop for tyres that dropped him down from 3rd. So Verstappen leads Hamilton by just 6 points, the narrowest of leads, with 6 races remaining this season. Then throwing forward to a mouthwatering prospect in cricket, England were able to name their strongest available squad for the Ashes tour to Australia. That as their stars committed to the trip after coronavirus quarantine fears initially. So Test captain Joe Root and vice captain Joss Butler both hinted they might not travel if their fears were not eased, but both players were named in the squad. Veterans James Anderson and Stuart Broad will head up the seam bowling for what may well be their last Ashes, I think, swan song in this case, with support from fellow pacemen Chris Wokes, Mark Wood and Ollie Robinson. Then Rory Burns, Johnny Bairstow and Zach Crawley lead the charge with the bat. England won the last series down under 4-0 in 2017 and 2018, with this year's edition starting on the 8th of December. Then finally on to football in the international window. England thumped Andorra 5-0 to maintain their unbeaten run in their qualification for next year's World Cup in Qatar. Ben Chilwell, Bukayo Saka, Tammy Abrams, James Ward-Prowse and Jack Grealish all netting in a dominant display for the Three Lions. Then Poland currently 3rd in Group I after putting 5 past San Marino. Then Denmark, like England, still unbeaten in their group after beating Moldova 4-0. Olsen, Kjaer, Norgard and Mail all scoring for the Danes. There were also wins for Scotland, Austria and Switzerland. Well, that's where we leave our sport for this morning. Let's get one last look at the weather fronts. Some crazy global weather and, of course, those temperatures here in SA.
Indeed, G, starting with some disturbing news on the international front is that red-hot lava continues to engulf land and buildings on the Spanish island of La Palma since the Cumbre Vieja volcano started erupting 3 weeks ago. Now, the magma streaming down the hillside destroyed buildings of 4 villages, some of them consisting of some 1,100 structures and 500 hectares of land. The director of the Canary Islands Volcanic Emergency Plan yesterday said the erupting volcano seems to have turned more aggressive. On Saturday, there were only 37 seismic episodes, with the largest measuring 4.1. Lightning flashes are visible near the eruption, and this as the collision of ash particles creates an electrical charge. And of course, more than 6,000 people have been evacuated from their homes on La Palma, which has some 83,000 inhabitants. And then back on our own shores, we look to our own skies as we recap the stunning sunrise photos shared by you, our lovely viewers, this morning. Nancy Govender from Pennington kicked us off this morning with a stunning shot overlooking the ocean, showing off the beautiful rays of sun cast across the sky. We also had Cyril Strydom, who is busy competing in a fishing competition, and he captured this fresh morning in the Western Cape while heading to their first spot of the day. Absolutely stunning. Sabiso Mtokor also took this beautiful overcast image, sharing the caption, "Good morning, Expresso, all the way from Ishowa in Papala. Your show is indeed a feel-good production." And then last but definitely not least, William Jumat shared this stunning image with us on Friday morning with the message, "Good morning, y'all. Have a blessed Friday from the Virginia beach. It's just a breathtaking morning out here." Keep them coming. We absolutely love seeing how you start your day, and who knows, you might get a feature here on your Feel-Good Breakfast show. But right now, here is a final look at the temperatures for you. Polokwane, your low is 6, peaking at 22. If you do find yourself in Umbombela today, expect a range of 9 to 21. For you, Pretoria, sunshine is coming your way with a low of 10 that will peak at 24, as well as Johannesburg, your minimum is 10 with a maximum of 23. Mahikeng, 12.27. Klerksdorp, for you, it is 12.29. And of course, Kimberley is showing off today with a minimum of 15 that will peak at 30. Bloemfontein, 10.27. Richards Bay, do expect a low of 15 that will peak at 24, as well as Pietermaritzburg, partly cloudy conditions ranging from 13 to 27. South Africa's playground Durban ranges from 17 to 22, Mthatha 15.30, as well as East London can be seen with a low of 18 and a high of 26. Craddock, 13.33. Gqeberha, for you, if you're out and about, do expect a low of 15 that will peak at 27. George, for you, it is 13.29. And if you do find yourself in the mother city, Cape Town, today, your low is 14 that will peak at 28. So it is a beautiful day out there. Worcester, 12.35. Sutherland, 12.29. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington ranges from 19 to 34. And that is, of course, where I leave your weather here on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
It's time for another performance, and I just realized that Georgia and I look like Roderick's children. Just did. So stand by for my daddy, who will be on Stand Up South Africa this Sunday. I know you like it. There'll be a 6:30 at SABC2, and you're going to get a little taster of what they have to offer. They're an incredible duo, and this is what Stand Up South Africa is all about. Getting that standing ovation for a chance of winning that 100K. So here they are with the track, one of my favorites, Incognito, still a friend of mine. Enjoy.
Wish you wish trees are tall, in autumn leaves do fall.
Ooh, it sometimes rains in paradise, and even the warmest hearts can turn to ice.
Know what happens to us all? Every kind of people fall.
After all the tears are gone, do we have the heart to carry on? Here and now, still somehow, still a friend of mine. 'cause I've got you, and we do the things we do. The next time, baby, when our love breaks down,
I'll do the best that I can to turn it around.
time and time and time again.
It's gonna be right here for you, baby.
Seasons come and seasons go. It's gonna be right here for you. Time and time again.
It's gonna be right here for you, yeah. Still a friend of mine, always still a friend of mine.
For you, baby. Seasons come and seasons go.
Always still a friend of mine.
For you.
Still a friend of mine.
Oh, you're still a friend of mine.
Still a friend of mine.
Oh, you're still a friend of mine.
Oh, yes, yes, please. I want more of that. Your daddy, you were amazing. But that's Roderick and Georgia Salo. They'll be performing this Sunday, 6:30 on SABC2 on Stand Up South Africa, yes?
Thank you, my son.
Thank you so much. So proud. He's going to sing one more time for you later. I can't wait. Daddy, let's go. Come. Daddy?
Only you can make my day.
Got the look? Brilliant. Now you can keep it, as Wall SA offers you the chance to win one of 10 Wall limited edition 18-karat gold-plated trimmer hampers to the value of 3,800 Rand each. To enter, reply to the daily competition post on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter or Instagram pages, answer the question and include the hashtag #WinWithWall in your answer. Competition closes Friday the 15th of October. Terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. It's been a beautiful show where we are celebrating love and humanity, and October is a perfect opportunity to do that. We are observing Pride Month here in South Africa, and today marks the 33rd National Coming Out Day. baby. Well, Coming Out Day is a celebration that was started in America globally. The LGBTQIA plus community, that list is getting longer. Thankfully, as we get more inclusive, it commemorates on the 11th of October by raising awareness, hosting rallies, and coming out to loved ones, making something that is very challenging a little bit easier. And the process of coming out is a very delicate but an important step in this community's journey.
Absolutely, and today we're asking, what does it take to come out of the closet? Now, clinical psychologist Asha Dulab is here again to help us out in a different topic, and this is such a key thing, and we are going to take your questions too. If you've got some comments, post it on the Expresso Facebook page. We want to be open about this and ensure that you get all the information you require.
First of all, we're not actually dating. I know a lot of people
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about us, I know.
There's a lot of talk about you and Zoe. There's talk about you and me.
I have a few
talk about
triangles.
Ryle and me. I know we don't exist in an open relationship on this show, but we love the openness that exists in terms of our understanding of what a relationship really is right now. It's Pride Month. This is a time to celebrate us.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I think that coming out is it's a needed step.
Yeah.
But I have to stop and think about this coming out term, because I mean, find me a human being where there's not a side of them that's in the closet. I think that we all have an aspect of ourselves that's in the closet. But with this specifically, when we are dealing with someone that is looking at one's sexual identity or gender identity, this closet, I mean, the color of the walls in this closet is certainly dark. It's not the colors of a rainbow. It's a very dark closet that's, it may feel safe, but it's not a good place to live.
You know, I think what we need to get to is a place where we can stop saying coming out, a place where we can stop saying the word closet, because already that sounds like you've been locked away.
Yes.
Already that sounds like you as an individual, because of society, have been excluded, and that's why you are in a closet somewhere waiting to step out to your own. So I just hope that the language is also going to keep up with giving power to what is just being yourself.
Yeah.
We are all different. We are short, tall.
It's a spectrum.
It is so much. Like, we've got so many different things about us, and suddenly this section, this topic of sexuality has always been treated with that language, and I'm hoping that the world can start changing it.
Absolutely. I think, Carl, it's about embracing both the shadow and light of a human being without labeling it as good or bad.
Indeed.
So just accepting people as it is, and maybe not having a notion of having it being for or against it, rather being a silent witness to it. With pure acceptance of the way people are, their choice, because it is such a private matter.
True.
You know, check your judgment at the door, and I mean that when judging self more than other people judging you. I mean, to hell with whatever other people think. But I'm glad you used that word. This is a very personal journey, and we'd all love. I certainly, when I think of my gay friends, I just want them to embrace themselves and be out there and do it. But it's a personal journey that needs to be handled with care. Why is it so vital that it's done on your terms?
Because, as you say, Graham, it's personal. It's a very healing journey. The person that is coming out is going through almost like a developmental process. So they have to have this sense of, they go through identity confusion, then it's identity comparison, before they get to some sense of identity tolerance. Then the pride comes in, acceptance first, then pride, and then this integration, identity synthesis, where they're integrating now their personal life with the public life. And I think that people are doing it individually, but I think there's a collective energy where collectively it's being done as well, this developmental process of coming out, where people are becoming more accepting of it, also going through those stages.
I feel like we've had a quantum leap forward over the last 18 months. I feel like we finally now are starting to catch up.
Yes, yeah.
You know, we have so much more to discuss, and I'm glad we have two parts, because I think that there's another facet of this, and that is every now and then you have to negotiate your identity and find exactly who you are, but also the people that are closest to you, they need to know. They need to know, and you need to express yourself to them as well. And this is kind of where they're coming out. And every story that I've heard about somebody coming out, their biggest anxiety was to their families. Their biggest, I mean, friends accept sort of the way they want to, but it was their families. And most of the time, it was the dads and the moms. And I don't want to disappoint my dad. I don't want to disappoint my mom. So I think as we get into part 2 of our conversation, for anybody who's watching us right now, What do you want to say to them just to start the thought in their head, to get this process going of expressing themselves in their truest form possible?
I think that the coming out journey is definitely a personal one, and one is to just take a moment and reflect rather than react in this journey. Reflection is it's a healing process. I think the whole coming out starts long before it actually comes out. So I see it as a process of reintegration of the human being because of that split between the shadow of what we put out into the big wide world and what we are hiding. And that it's a reintegration, which is beautiful. So think along those lines. How am I reintegrating myself, bringing myself together? Because we have this fragmented mind.
Yes, we do.
When we're in the state of anxiety and pressure to please others and get that sense of approval and acceptance, it's all about that.
It's the human condition, unfortunately, but we all want authenticity and to be our authentic selves. Usher's not going anywhere. We're continuing to celebrate Pride Month, but also Coming Out Day. It's today. Maybe it's an opportunity for you.
We are taking pride in this next recipe thanks to the indulgence of Clover Bliss Double Cream Yogurt. You can now have your cake and eat it too with the all-new Clover Bliss Double Cream Red Velvet flavor. And to celebrate this auspicious occasion, Jenny Morris Double Trouble is back at it, and she's here to indulge us with Red Velvet Parfait cups for breakfast. Monday mornings just got a whole lot better.
Oh, hello, darling.
Hello,
yes,
darling.
Indeed.
This, firstly, it looks aesthetically so pleasing. I'm just looking at that right now. And it's just like a beautiful layers of goodness and freshness and fruit, because that color also. Look
it's
at
gorgeous.
that.
This is like really red velvet.
Yummy,
Isn't
yummy,
it
yum,
beautiful? Look at that. And I'm going to give, I took a big glass because we're going to share this afterwards.
For sure, definitely.
Because we're not going to eat this on camera because we're really like going to dig in.
No, we won't.
So I need berries from you, Angel. If you could chop them nice and hunky and chunky.
Hunky and chunky, I got it.
And the raspberries we won't cut. I'll just steal a couple of those from you.
These are my favorite fruits right now. Strawberries, berries, raspberries, anything. I could pop it into anything.
And honey. We're going to add some honey to this. We've got a lovely crunch to go with that lovely red velvet. So we're going to do beautiful layers here. You know, I really love just to bring that little bit of honey into it. So look at this. It's just going to anoint. We're not going to kill it. I love anointing.
You're having too much fun. I see you doing a honey bay over there.
Oh, yes, darling, I'm a honey bee. And I'm going to just steal some of these blue ones like so. And of course, we'd like to be red velveted out. So I'm going to really indulge.
And that layers, so when you're taking your spoon and just going through it and trying to get everything on that spoon, that is exactly why we're not eating it on camera, everybody.
No,
because
we're going to really tuck in.
We're going to tuck it in. You are going to kick me. Guess what? So just last week, I had these sunflower seeds, and I didn't know. I gave it to like our neighbor because I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't know how to use it. Someone's like, you can use it in a salad.
Oh,
you could
naughty
use it.
girl.
If I knew, I would have kept it for this recipe.
Listen, darling, you know sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds are exceptionally good for you. And of course, you could just have your gorgeous Double Trouble Bliss and have lots and lots of that with it.
Which is the hero. So the Clover Bliss is a deliciously thick, creamy, and also truly indulgent double cream yogurt, so all that creaminess that you love. If it's your go-to yogurt for snacking in between, you can also now indulge in the new red velvet flavor for that velvety, creamy taste, and that is what we're using right now. But of course, you can also add any toppings and textures to your parfait cups to make it the way you enjoy it. So we obviously have some pumpkin seeds, some sunflower seeds, is this coconut?
Coconut, some beautiful shaved coconut and toasted. And I'm going to put this here. If you dare touch it, Mummy will have to smack you, but I'll give you a little berry.
Are you going to throw
to keep you happy?
Just now, I choked. Don't throw it in. Because last week, Zoe choked on water, so I'm just scared that I'm going to choke on her berries. But I'll...
Just go gently, grab it with your teeth. And it's also full of wonderful goodness. And as I say, you could actually just take these beautiful berries and just stir them into this gorgeous red velvet, and some eat it like that. Nice, huh?
Sources of 7 vitamins. Look at the beauty of this. I actually don't want to eat it. I just want to take a picture with it and just make sure that like everyone knows that this is the beautiful red velvet parfait cups that we just made. Jenny Morris, this is why you're trouble. Because you're just spoiling us. ExpressoShow.com is where you can find your hands on this recipe. Your Monday can't start on a better note than this, everybody. Oh, I'm going to go take a picture with this first.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover. Yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yep, welcome back. You're still live with Expresso as we continue to celebrate Pride Month. We are talking relationships being a Monday, and today we are asking, what does it take to come out of the closet? We are back with clinical psychologist and good friend Asha Dillab to unpack this topic. So please weigh in with any of your questions or comments on our Facebook page. Maybe you have gone through this process recently and have some insights to share, because I think that's what World Coming Out Day is all about. It's about making people feel a little bit more comfortable about taking a very big step. So I'm going to turn the roles around a little bit now. I've actually been in this position many times, and you feel quite privileged when someone opens up to you in that space. What if someone comes out to you and you're the first point of contact as they look to go on this journey? How can we best offer support and help? What should we do if someone comes out?
I think the most important thing, Graham, is to listen with complete attention to their story and with complete acceptance. Attention, affection, acceptance, and appreciation for the story that is being shared.
We touched on this earlier. I mean, because you see them for who they are, and it's probably for you quite a natural thing. You just want them to be authentic and to be free within their identity, but they might not be at that point yet or comfortable with sharing it with anyone. I have to just then stop talking to people because I will blab it. Yeah. I'm that kind of person. I just want to talk about these things. Why is it so important to let them do it on their terms in a way that is best for them?
I think it's important because it's their story and they will know when it's ready, when they are ready to share and where they feel safe to share. So I think someone that's coming out, I mean, firstly, it's so important to feel that they're getting the right support, that they are being heard and that they feel safe to share. So they must own their story.
That being said, you also don't want to stand idly by while someone that you care about is not evolving or living their authentic self or ultimately free. I know we can't understand those pressures unless you've actually been through that, but is it okay for us to help prompt that journey? For instance, is it okay for me to talk to a friend who I know is going through that journey? They've given me enough cues to say, why haven't you come out yet? Can we be that person in their life? What's the best way to offer support to someone who is not clear about where they stand in that journey?
I think it depends on the relationship you have with that person. If you feel that you're close enough that you can engage in a vulnerable, courageous conversation with that person, then by all means you can facilitate the conversation, but it needs to feel like a safe relationship to engage in that conversation. So it really depends on the nature of the relationship with the person.
Don't drop that bomb in like a wedding speech. You know, just handle with kid gloves. Any last advice that you would like to leave with people who are contemplating taking that very big step?
Graham, I would say firstly, be authentic. It's your real self. Just put out your real self there without any armor. I would say be direct. Don't sort of give anyone that you're sharing your story with any sense of hope that you are in doubt or that can change. If you know who you are, so be direct with it and be unapologetic.
Yeah.
You know, don't be sorry for who you are. This is who you are, and embrace the completeness of yourself as a human being.
What if you get pushback? How do you then deal with that, especially if it's coming from someone that's close? Because there will be, generationally, there is going to be a lag in terms of understanding and acceptance. It's going to be there, even with the most open-minded parent. That is just the reality that we live in. What do you do then if you don't get the reaction that you are hoping for? It can be devastating.
I think at that point, have some understanding for the person that you are sharing. Maybe perhaps they're not yet ready to receive the information, but don't stop trying.
Doesn't make you wrong.
Exactly. There's no right to wrong. I think persist and try again and continue the conversation about who you are. Just keep in mind that the person may not be ready to receive it without, so don't judge the person that you're sharing the story with. Have some compassion for them because it's also something that they too need to adjust to.
We've used the word judgment so many times, and ultimately, I suppose this leads towards a place of you being, we know, dating in any kind of space within the spectrum. If you are going to give yourself fully to someone else, you need to have accepted yourself. How do we set aside that self-judgment and get to a place, whether you've come out or not, that you can be in a relationship with who you're meant to be in a relationship with? Ultimately, that's what we all need and want is to fall in love. How do we get to that point?
We get to that point by, dealing with our top 3 centric emotions, and that is our egocentric emotion. That's our fear, our shame, and our guilt. Those are the emotions that we need to work through in order to have a level of self-acceptance. But many people are avoiding those emotions, so we need to deal with that first. And really putting yourself out there as your honest, true self. Speak your truth. There's nothing more powerful than that.
I know a lot of people are talking, but I'd just like to come out right now. I'm straight. Okay, people, you have an opportunity right now, today being World Coming Out Day, to just think about what your authentic self is. There is ultimately going to fall on your shoulders to make that decision, and no one else is going to do it for you, but you do it on your terms in a way that makes you feel comfortable. But the most important learning here, check your judgment at the door.
Welcome back, Mzansi. Now, this is a heartbreaking reality that many people in the LGBTQIA+ communities feel like they can never really live their authentic lives or show their true selves because of fear of rejection, discrimination, and being verbally or even physically attacked.
Guess what? We are tackling this today on Coming Out Day, and we're being joined in studio by Ronaldo Schwab, a radio host, a filmmaker, and author of the new book, Skiff, which is a continuation of his 2019 docuseries that highlighted the narratives purpose of prominent queer figures in the Afrikaans entertainment industry. Ronaldo, so good to have you with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks so much for the invite. We are celebrating this very special day, and I'm very excited to be chatting to you guys.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. I mean, the Skiff, I love the name firstly, and I've got to say that it started off, like we've just heard now, as a 4-part docuseries, but now was then later picked up by a big online broadcaster in a 40-minute documentary, I believe. So what's the feeling of having your work being put out there, and then again knowing that people actually needed to see this?
It's quite. I don't want to say it's shocking, but it's really nice. It's a bit surprising for me. I mean, I did the 4-part documentary as a small passion project. It was self-funded. I did a lot of the editing, the producing myself. It then got reformatted as a 40-minute film. Then it screened in Palm Springs, and then the streaming deal happened. So it's really great to see how the last 2 years really allowed this project to get wings and step out of the closet, mind the pun. So I'm very grateful, and I'm excited and hopeful that it opens a lot more conversations about content like this.
I love this, and I must just say the key word there that you used is that it started as a passion project, and it feels like that passion never stopped, because look at where it's got you now, just a bunch of passion.
Yeah, I'm actually living the dream. I'm very, very, very proud of this gift project.
Love that for you. Now, obviously, the book is based loosely on the docuseries. What was the motivation behind putting, you know, the docuseries now into a book? Because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
You're obviously changing the game with this one.
Yeah, so it was the end of 2019. It was Oyash Aunt, and I had this existentialistic question about what am I doing next? And after a few glasses of MCC, I was like, it's a book. So I spent the next few months at the start of 2020, before lockdown hit, conceptualizing a book, putting together the manuscript, and then lockdown hit, and then I got writing and interviewing people via Zoom and WhatsApp calls, and a year and 8 months later, the book is finally born.
Almost like divine timing in a weird way. But I've got to ask, you have essentially done this a little bit backwards from what the norm would be. Did that present a challenge or an opportunity? Because I'd imagine with writing now, maybe it gives you that opportunity to kind of dive deeper into these topics, maybe express it in another way, or was that not the case for this one? How did that go about?
Absolutely. I think the book allowed me a lot more freedom to go a bit deeper and a bit wider. Obviously, with the 40-minute film, there are a few holes. And I mean, like, with a project like this, or any project that is representative, people can critique it because there are so few projects like these, so it can't cover everything. I've tried to and attempted to with the book to cover as much as possible. So it isn't just experience about gay men. There are contributors who are lesbian and transgender and genderqueer. And the book allowed me to explore that a lot more. And if I did it the other way around, I would have probably done the documentary totally different.
Now, this is not just about your story, about coming out and being gay. It's also about the people in the industry and people you've been able to work with, being in the broadcasting space. Why do you think this was so important for you to create a platform like this?
I think representation is crucial on any level, whether it's sexuality, race, gender. It was important to me to include those people because those people have the audiences, they have the platform. So I'm very happy that people like Mark Lotring and Armand Oukamp decided to contribute. There are a few other musicians and Afrikaans celebrities who really decided to share their story, and I think we shouldn't underestimate the power of sharing our stories. And I think it shows a little young person who might be struggling that it's okay to be gay.
It definitely is, and it's definitely okay to also connect with like-minded people. Now, the book, as you said, and the docuseries, everything, it's going so well. My question to you is, how do you feel in terms of the narrative? What would you love for people to really like latch onto in terms of how they understand this, how they associate with it, and maybe resonate with it, but more so, what they take from it in the end?
I think what the book does, or I would hope what the book does, is it just showcases that we are people. Much like the documentary, it was a documentary sharing people's experiences. The book does that on a way deeper level, on a much wider level. I think in South Africa, and especially in the Afrikaans community, there is a lot of stigma with regards to who we are and what we do. And I think just by showcasing these stories and these people, hopefully, we just realized that the hate and the discrimination is extremely unnecessary, and that we're people.
Like I said, this is a game changer. Thank you so much for letting us into this side of things, definitely changing the way we're seeing this narrative. But thank you so much for joining us this morning on the couch.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm very happy.
Yes, your passion is always welcome. Your energy is so accepted, and I thank you so much for sharing with the rest of Mzansi. Now, this book reminds us that when it comes to equality, it's not only issues that we are dealing with, but people too. And Ronaldo Schwab's Skiff is available from all leading online and book retailers.
Get an insurance quote for your home or car and stand a chance to win one of 8 Samsung Galaxy S21 phones plus 100 gigs of Standard Bank mobile data for a year. To enter, SMS the keyword motor to 31492 to get a call back and quote, and you could be a winner.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I'll go. Sawana music. Oh, he's back. Oh. Move way.
Clover fresh milk.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso, live on S3, and we're back in the kitchen, and I want to talk about something that's sometimes it's a bit underrated. Mushrooms. Now, often they get sidelined. They're saying, no, mushrooms are a boring dish. It's for vegetarians. But when you jazz them up the right way and serve them with the right person like Jenny Morris, they are guaranteed to be something completely spectacular. Clover fresh milk, peppery sauce is added, and it's a match made in absolute heaven. They'll get all the attention at any dinner table, and they might just become your new go-to meat-free Monday favorite. Jenny, I am excited.
So am I.
For our beautiful time. It's you. It's
And me.
mushrooms.
It's umami.
It's umami.
It's umami and you.
Umami. Yes, I like it. That's the whole vibe today.
I'm your umami.
Yes, you are indeed. So talk to me about something as simple as, I mean, literally, there's two things. It's a mushroom kebab and sauce.
Lovely herby sauce, but we're using clover milk. That's what's going to really just bring it up to the
Yes,
next
it
level.
does.
So I need your help.
Okay.
You're going to do this for me, and you're going to cut them through, okay? You're going to cut and
All right.
thread. So you're going to go one white, one brown. One
white, one brown. Ooh.
Yes, darling.
It's like the kitchen. Okay, cool. Right, so you want me to go there, and then also what I've found in the past when I've tried these is that I've tried to keep them whole before.
Yes.
And do like a little bit of a kebab with the mushrooms, and then what happens is if your kebab is not straight enough, then you get some problems in terms of it falling off. So what is your hack for that? There we go. Not the straight. so I see you've got quite an interesting configuration. You've gone through it like that, which is actually quite cool.
Yes, don't go through the stem because then it's going to break.
Yes, so we're going through there and we're cutting it in half and we're going, okay, so you got 2 different varieties. And then just for anybody who wants to know, 2 varieties. You get brown and white, flavour-wise.
Oh, absolutely. They're all beautiful. They're lovely and earthy. I like the brown one. I find it's a bit more nutty.
Okay.
But you also get lovely enoki mushrooms. There's such a selection of mushrooms.
Yes,
you know.
Yes, I know. And you get them in that beautiful package, and you can just kind of serve them with everything. And I love some of them, like the enoki mushrooms are gorgeous.
Fresh.
The oyster mushrooms are so meaty and yes, I know.
Textured. I love it.
My word, honestly,
I'm going to just heat this pan up while you
just get the mood going there for us. You know how it goes in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I get this right for you because I get a bit nervous.
Thank
but I'm
goodness
going to
I've made some up front.
Yes, because I was a bit worried about going through that. So basically, I'm doing that. Oh, see, that's perfect.
I'm looking at you. Yes.
And the thing is, now the peppery sauce, can you take me through that while I do this? While I can multitask too. You've taught me well.
No, absolutely.
So what are you doing? What goes into that pot there?
So what I've got here is I've got some butter, obviously, and some flour, and I'm going to make what you call a roux.
I love the roux. So the roux is something that starts so many dishes, like a macaroni and cheese roux.
Or a soufflé.
Yes, a soufflé roux. That's right.
So now this is going to just, I cook it out because I want the little starch bubbles to explode and burst in my pan.
Oh.
Because you know what happens?
What?
Otherwise it tastes like raw flour.
You see, that's the problem. That's where a roux goes wrong.
Yeah, a roux goes wrong.
Sometimes a roux goes wrong. And two roux don't make you right. Eh?
Well,
that's how it goes.
Oh, here comes Graham.
I know. So you got that in there, which is simple and delicious peppery sauce.
Yes, absolutely.
And a roux is like the foundation to some great sauces in the kitchen. Like so many of them.
Cajun food, you make a lovely dirty roux.
A dirty roux?
Dirty roux. It's a dark roux.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. It's not a kangaroo, it's a dark roux.
Oh, stop it. I like that roux. My word. Shoo! I'm ruining this opportunity right now.
I'll rue the day I got you to do this.
Oh,
Give
thank
me
you so
some.
much. I'm going slow on this, but okay, you're 2 so far.
Oh,
there we go.
Thank
You're
you,
most
my
welcome.
puppet.
I knew I had to do them perfect because there's not much room for error.
Oh, not much room for error as well.
So yeah, I just had to do it properly.
And you know how they're grown, eh?
What, mushrooms?
Yes.
Please give us the truths about it.
Well, they say they keep them in the dark and feed them with wonderful organic matter, which is fantastic.
Yes.
But I've been into some lovely dark rooms.
Okay.
And it's the most rewarding thing to see these tiny little babies just popping up.
Yeah.
And they grow. They grow so fast.
Wow.
And then you just pluck them out of it because it's all sterilized. And that's why you never wash a mushroom, because it's clean.
You know what you actually spoke about, Jenny, is that I think a mushroom is a great metaphor for life.
Yes.
Because just because you're in a dark place doesn't mean you can't grow.
Exactly. Oh my goodness! You know, we're having very, very deep conversations.
You know, sometimes we get to, but I think that's what mushrooms are actually supposed to teach us.
Absolutely.
And this is great. And I know the peppery sauce that you're attaching it to, I think that's gorgeous. You know, with Clover fresh milk, you get superior quality with every litre to help you give your family nothing but the best. And the cool thing about Clover fresh milk, it stays fresh. I'm talking fresh for up to 18 days, thanks to Triple Protect. You get all the goodness and nutrition from Clover fresh milk. And in this recipe, you can change it up with the sauce a little bit. I'm sure you can add some cheese in there, maybe a chili kick, possibly.
Oh, yes, a chili kick would be amazing.
Oh, I'd love that. Okay, so while you're doing that, and we've given you philosophies, metaphors, we've given you everything. You know, I like changing it up. I am a fun guy like that, like how I would meet. And we just need to be fed. I knew it was going to happen. I'm ready. Get the recipe right now, expressoshow.com. I'm ready for my feeding. Thank you. Are you going to do it?
Should I do it?
Yes, let's go for it.
I don't want to poke you, so just be careful. There's a point. And then you push them up like that.
So, umami, creamy, great seasoning.
Yes.
Beautiful balance of flavor. And there's a meatiness to it. I'm not going to miss the meat.
No, you won't. It's, from an oral satisfaction, it's beautiful.
All right. Thank you, Jenny Morris. Please get the recipe right now. Try it today. These are incredible. I'm having more.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. The last few minutes of the show, and we don't want it to end because what a family affair it's been in studio this morning. Father and daughter, Roderick and Georgia Salo, have been performing one of the amazing ballads for us, and they're going to keep it going with one more performance, and they're joining us to perform their last song, Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. And like Carl Wasey always says, move the coffee tables. It's going to be one just for you guys.
I don't want nobody else to ever love you.
You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy.
There's not a minute, hour, day or night that I don't love you.
You're at the top of my list, cause I'm always thinking of you.
I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you. How I spent my dream being planning how to say I love you.
You must have known that I had feelings deep enough to swim in.
That's when you opened up your heart and you told me to go. Oh my love,
love.
1,000 kisses from you is never enough. 'Cause I just don't wanna say too much, never too much, never too much, never too much. gamble, and I'm so glad I am winning. We've come a long way, and if this is only the beginning, oh my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. 'Cause I just don't wanna stop. I said, oh my love, a million days in your arms is never too much. 'Cause I just don't wanna stop. Too much, never too much, never too much, never too much.
Yes, Queen!
Come on, everybody. That was Roderick and Georgia Saylor, one of the duos in SABC2's new family singing competition, Stand Up South Africa. Be sure to check it out every Sunday at 6:30 on SABC2. One more time, everybody, for this dynamic duo. Come on, that was amazing. Gee, what did you think of that? Like, come on, that was just so amazing. Carl, I know you have so much to say about this. They were phenomenal, right?
Well, I actually think, sorry, we were dancing together while they were singing. It just shows you if you can get us dancing, that's so important. And I think that Stand Up South Africa has its winner already. I mean, just like Roderick and Georgia, you guys just, continue actually just unifying, getting together, celebrating one another like Jenny and I do all the time. Like, I actually want to hear more. Can you guys do another thing? I'm just like, start.
I don't want nobody else to ever love you.
You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy.
There's not an hour in the day and night that I don't love you.
You're at the top of my list, 'cause I'm always thinking of you.
I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you. How I spent my dream been planning how to say I love you.
You must have known that I had feelings if enough this woman.
That's when you opened up your heart and you told me to come. Oh my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never too much.
Nothing beats being free for breakfast with the team or having family brunches for life as it used to be. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.